Hey, someone gifted subscriptions. Thank you for that. Hello. And look who's here. And look who's here. Oh my goodness. Oh, chair getting in the way. Let's move that out of the way. Look who's here. Yeah. Oh, it's the buddy. It's the buddy. It's the boy. Look at the boy. I know. Everyone's been begging to see you. They've all been missing you so much. No one has missed me at all. I will say, everyone was like, hey, I can't wait for you to get back to streaming because we miss Flynn. No one was like, hey, I miss you. Look who's out here re-upping their sub like some kind of hero. You're welcome for the boy. Here's the boy. And now he gets a treat, as is custom. As is customary. And with that out of the way, hello everyone. My name is Endeavorance. It is Tuesday, January 21st? 21st? I hear there is a year in there somewhere. I have it on good authority. Hey everyone. Hey, someone gifted subscriptions. Thank you for the bits. Thank you all so goddamn much for the plethora of everything. I promise I'm going to catch up on everything. I apologize that chat is kind of acting weird on the stream, as are the notifications. I'm in the midst of completely reworking how I do my stream setup. This is supposed to show everybody that's chatting, but it's currently only showing people who are members of my Discord community who are chatting and have connected their Twitch account. So don't worry about that. In fact, I might just take it off screen, but Oh well. I need to fix it. I need to debug it. That's my fault for rewriting the entire thing last night before going live today for the first time in months. Hello, everyone. Hello. Let's see. Who do we got here? We've got a whole bunch of people here who are new, who are returning, who are getting gifts, who are giving gifts. So there's a whole lot going on. So let's check that out real quick. Let me turn the volume on the music down. Apologies for that. It's been a second. Okay. Let's see. Who do we got? The first person to chat. I can't actually tell because the the banner, the hype train banner is over it. So I don't know who was first to chat, but second to chat was Opossum Ollie. Hello, Ice Cream Socialist, Overreacting, Milo, there's everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, Plum Philobi. Flynn's having a good time back there. Please note that there's a party happening back there. Oh my goodness, buddy. You know, that's a heated blanket that I got for Christmas a couple of years ago, to have a heated blanket out here for days like today where it's very, very, very cold. And now it's just Flynn's bed blanket. So there's that. Let's see, who else is new? I want to at least call out the folks who are new. Hello, Maddie Roller. How's it going? Welcome. Hello, Lawnmower. Good to see you again. Attainers. Hello. Name's Bond. Hello. Just Someone 69. First of all, hilarious name. Second of all, hello. Third of all, Flynn's excited too. My goodness. Let's see. Bestest from around. Hello, welcome in. Good to have you. D Squishy, welcome. Who else is new? Noble Caboose 117. Oh my god, it's a puppy. Oh, he is. And he is the puppiest. And he is the loveliest, and I love him so much. He is the best animal on this here planet. Inky, thank you for the gifted subs, and congrats to everybody who got a gifted sub from Inky. Still just kind of scrolling through, checking for new chatters. Hello, Scholaresco. Hello, William Gamesmith. Welcome in. Good to have you. You've stumbled into the single greatest community on the internet. That's your fault. Moving on. Hello to some name I don't care. That's a really good name, especially because you very clearly do care. I think you care. I think that's important. Hey Flynn, that's a lot of you're really deep in there, buddy. He is in there, like in there. Wow, bud. Wow. Professor Lawnmower, thank you for the bits. Spin that dice, thank you for the bits. I want to say, to the people who are used to my stream from before, I'm going to be restoring some of that functionality that you were used to from back then, including like changing your name, setting your pronouns, changing your color all through the stream and whatnot. It's a work in progress, but I'm doing some really cool stuff behind the scenes to open all of my stream setup stuff to more people who want to maybe make use of it. So kind of starting from square one, but building it to be much better in the future. So bear with me on that. Let's see. How's everyone doing? I'm gonna go ahead and fix up my setup here, given that my chat's not really working the way I thought it was. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. Oh no. Oh, what have I done? And why is Arcane Anthems here? Wow. Okay, this is pretty emblematic of just, you know, how reality kind of is right now. Let's just go ahead and do that. Okay. Simple, straightforward. It's just the stream. It's just the boys. It's this boy and that boy that's still licking. He's still just licking. Okay. The scuff, tremendous. Oh yeah. I got a hype chest. What is that? Greedy Goose emote and Golden Kappa for 24 hours. Cool. Share. Choo-choo. There you go. We got the thing. We did it. We truly did it. Hype Train ended at level 6. Thank you. I'm gonna be coughing throughout this stream, by the way. But thank you to everyone who has who's gifted subs, resubbed. I really, really appreciate it, especially in this time of who knows what the hell happens now, and who knows what's gonna happen with TikTok, and who knows what's gonna happen with anything. I am pretty radically changing the way that I'm going about making my content and making income at all. So I really, really appreciate your support. It makes all of the difference. Let's see here. It's currently 7 degrees, says the Octillion. Yeah, it is. I've got, let's see, let's do a rundown real quick of what I've got going on here to not be a frozen boy, to not be a boysicle. I've got the Fingilos gloves. I've got very warm sweater. This is like literally a like English fisherman's sweater imported from an English fisherman. Then I've got a sweater here, and then I've got the Stuff Keeps Happening shirt on, of course. Merch from .dev, got a rep even if it's my base layer. And then I've got these sweatpants on, and then under the sweatpants is another pair of pants, and the socks even. I have multiple layers of socks on. So something just got unplugged from my computer, and I don't know what. I just got a USB device removed notification. I don't know what it was. Everything seems to be functioning still. I'm gonna operate as if everything is fine, which it's not. And it really hasn't been. I apologize. That was not your PC. Okay. Let's see. It got replugged. It's fine. Tintaforal, thank you for the follow. Oh, I forgot to have an activity feed here. All right, let's see. Let me real quick just shout out the folks who have been helping and stuff. Opossum Ollie, thank you for the sub. Milo subs. Lawnmower, thank you for the sub. Play Tag With Me, thank you for the prime. Lawnmower, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. That's Just Ash, thank you for the resub. Cotton Candy, hello, and thank you for the gifted subs. Names Bond, thank you for the sub. Franch, thank you for the prime, and hello. And also, shout out to Franch for hello. Spin That Dice 196, thank you for the resub. Weedy Potter, hello, thank you for the resub. Inky, thank you for the resub. Inky, thank you for the gifted subs. Tomato with the resub at 21 months, which is just truly bazonkers town. We got some bits from Spin the Dice, Professor Lawnmower, Cotton Candy, and Scarlet Skittles. Seraph RDM, I'm Just Moth, Scholaresco, Solemn, some name I don't care, and I Biodegrade. That's a great name. Infern Owl, Phenoix 2. Thank you all for the follows. Thank you, everyone. I really, really, really deeply appreciate it. This is going to be hype. I am now going to be streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays at this time, and then whenever I just feel like going live. Part of the reason that I've kind of like dumbed down my stream a bit, gotten like, you know, simplified stuff, like I even when I bring back all the things, it's probably gonna be a much simpler setup. It's because I want to be able to go live whenever I want to. So expect to see random lives from me whenever I'm just like, I don't know, I want to body double, or I want to like do whatever, or there's something important going on, or I'm freaking bored. So whenever you see a random notification from me, you better click it, or I'll be sad. And for the people who are redeeming reactions and stuff, those reactions are supposed to be working, but unfortunately my stuff is kind of busted right now. My bad. So, oops. If you do want it to work though, you can, if you're in my Discord, you can attach your Twitch account via the lodge. Don't worry about it. Don't bother. I'll fix it before next time, I promise. This is Twitch's fault, by the way. I mean, it's my fault. Squarely my fault, 100% my fault. But I'm going to blame Twitch because I tried to test this, but their testing infrastructure doesn't support their newest systems, which is stupid. Anyway, I'm going to move on. So, Inky says, so wait, do we get dice again? Yeah, I will be bringing back dice, sort of. I'm bringing back mini games. I'm going to be building and making little tiny mini games for y'all to play on this stream. That ideally I'll be able to like swap out, so we'll have a couple of different mini games. But yeah, I'll be bringing back some kind of mini game. I'm not gonna bring back stream goals necessarily, except for like unique specific purposes, because it doesn't feel super great, and I don't love having to constantly come up with new goals that I then have to fulfill, because then it adds a lot more weight to going live and a lot more planning and follow through that I can't promise to. So trying to simplify. Less stuff, more boy, if that's okay. Cryptid says my waifu alert, wow, Cryptid says my waifu alerts. Jesus. My waifu alerts are on the fritz, everyone. If we could get, we got some waifu alerts. If any Cryptid Waifu Genesis says, my Twitch alerts aren't working. I prefer waifu alerts. Inky, I see you're saying new sound. So I do have an idea for a new sound, and here's the genesis of it. As I was putting together, so backstory for those who are new to my stream. I am a dweeb and a nerd and a software developer, and before I took my hiatus, I had a much more intense stream setup that I had written from scratch, like for my stream specifically. So it was like a whole stream overlay and setup and everything that was like custom built for this stream. And I'm still doing that, but starting over. One of the things you could do is redeem sounds. That's not unique to my stream or whatever, but one of the sounds that you could redeem is me saying beef. And as I was writing the new software to run this thing, there is like a code auto completion plugin that like tries to generate what you're gonna write next. And when I went to go write the notification for someone redeeming the beef sound, it tried to generate a notification text to display. And the notification text it came up with was, I want to hear the beef sound. And now I want to record that and make that a redeemable sound, because I want to hear the beef sound is just beef, a truly incomprehensible sequence of words, and I love it. And it's exactly what the kind of energy we need here. Overreacting says, how can I sign my husband up for this? Up for what? Up for the waifu alert? Do we need to make a waifu alert service? The waifu alerts TM. So you've heard, you know, like there's those like emergency alerts that go out, right? That like, you know, buzz your phone. You've got your like Amber alerts. You've got your, you know, Joe Biden sat on his nutsack again alert. The waifu alerts. That's a new one. That's a new one. Cotton Candy wants me to hydrate. I missed that. My bad. It is now done. Almost exactly the cooldown duration later. Do you open Pokemon? I actually, you know what? So I don't, but you know what? I have a box of several thousand Pokemon cards from when they first came out from my childhood that my dad dumped on me recently and was like, take these fucking cards. So I could do a stream where I like go through and we can like, I know nothing about anything about the modern Pokemon landscape, but I could absolutely go through that, and we could that could be good stream content sometime. Just a big old box of like first gen Pokemon cards. I have no idea. They're probably not worth anything, I assume. You know, I'm a millennial, so I grew up. That's not true. I'm not a millennial. I'm 12,000 years old. Anyway, I'm a millennial, and so I grew up in the era of you better hold on to this because someday it's gonna be worth a lot of money. You know, you got your Beanie Babies, you got your various trading card games. And I was told that my foil Charizard will one day be my like retirement plan. I'm pretty sure that's not true. Like I'm 90% sure that my foil Charizard is not going to give me a retirement. 50% because I don't think that we're going to have a planet when I'm retiring. And 50% because I think it'll probably net me like $3.46 maybe. So get them graded. I'll have to like figure out how to do that. Do I just like go to a like game store? Like there's would a standard reputable card like tabletop game store be able to help me identify if these cards are valuable or not? Because there's a good one near me, but like it's the kind of place that like hosts tournaments and whatnot. Cons, interesting. Speaking of cons, I do have a badge to go to PAX East. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to PAX East yet. I really need to figure some stuff out. I have a trip to London planned like the week before PAX East. And so it really comes down to if I'm going to be able to be a human being after I get back from that trip and then be able to go back out and do a con while adjusting back to the time difference. So unsure if I'm going to be able to go to PAX East at this point, but I do have a badge and I would like to make it work. It may be the case that I'm just there for like a day or two, but we'll see. Crayley says, what are you doing in London? Literally just visiting. I haven't done a vacation in like a serious going somewhere, exploring a new place, traveling, doing anything like that, like since pre-COVID and years before that too, because I didn't have the time or space or money. But over the past like 6 or 7 years of using my Amex, since I basically don't travel and I've just been I put virtually every single purchase on the same card if I can. I've just built up so many points on Amex that, and I'm so excited about this. I'm flying to London in on Virgin like premier class, like the lay down bed, you have your own cubby, open bar first class. I'm flying back on the like standard class or whatever, but I had so many Amex points, and there was a deal for whatever reason where they like they transferred really well to Virgin International points. So I just like happened upon this amazing combination of everything where I was able to get a first class flight out there and a like mid class flight back or whatever without paying anything, just from points. Now, to be clear, credit card points are a scam and are a net drain on society. Let's be clear about that. Credit card points are a direct scam. And also, I'm flying first class on Virgin because of that scam. So, yay! Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna be bumming around London. I'm gonna be visiting some folks that I know there, and just looking at a castle probably for purchase for all of us. There's the hydrate. Let's see. What are you most excited about doing in London/England? I am most excited about, I would like to see a show at the Globe. That would be cool. I would like to see a show at the Globe, and I would like to, I want to look at I just want to see the rolling hills. I am a sucker for like rolling hills and stone, like low stone walls, which they've got there in spades. So I'm pretty happy to go look at some stones and hills. It's gonna be real good. Cryptid says, some people will buy things at a con for slightly more money just because of the novelty or nostalgia, to look back and think, remember when we went to that convention and bought this? Is that like, oh, okay, yeah, sold a lot of the stuff. Got it. To be clear, disappears. Gaiametris, look, I am a literal boy, and I am actually Mr. Cellophane. Oh, by the way, this chair, I should probably be like shilling ever. This chair, you should get it. It rules. It's a bit pricey, but I need to put them in my like bio and whatnot. But you'll notice that this chair is new. This is a Hinomi X1 chair, I believe, which is a very hilarious name for a chair. But headrest, it's got a footrest. It can like, it's got like a literal like leg rest, so you can like pull out a leg rest and recline in it like it's a freaking recliner. You can basically go to sleep in this chair. Cotton says, Dev, have you played that new Rivals of Ether you mentioned recently? No, and I really, really want to. I might talk to Whispers about doing like a let's beat the hell out of each other on stream on that game, because I very, very, very much want to play it. Branch says, Warwick Castle is very cool and has good views of all the rolling hills if you can get there. I'll have to take a look. Namesbond says, the 4 ravens in the Tower of London. That just sounds like fantasy. That sounds like a fantasy novel, straight up. Ash says, I need a new chair, but all the good chairs are expensive. I need something to last. There's some decent options in the, like, few $100 range. But yeah, like, if you want to get a good chair, it's going to cost some money, which is deeply unfortunate. In a world where, oops, we don't have a ton of money to go around right now. How's the headrest? So far, all the chairs with a headrest I tried are awful, to some name. It's pretty good. I mean, like, I use it to, like it curves to your neck, so it's more of like a neck support. But the primary thing with this chair is the lumbar support, which is like genuinely good. It also, the seat can adjust in such a way that it very much does alleviate pressure on my tailbone, which is a problem that I've had for a long time, is tailbone pressure. Amen, credit card scam? Absolutely. Fancy pants, Dev? Look, I'm a fancy boy, all right? I am nothing if not fancy. Why would I be here if I wasn't the fanciest of lads? All right, go back to Endeavorance's tailbone. Yeah, like, bring back my tailbone, in the sense that I would really like to not have that pain. That would be nice. Domini, hello, welcome in. Good to have you. Hello, hello. Crayley says, have you injured your tailbone? Yeah, I hurt my tailbone somehow a long time ago. I don't know what I did. Every doctor keeps being like, what did you do? Like, how did you hurt yourself? And I'm like, I don't know. It just hurts. So yeah, every once in a great excuse me. Every once in a great while, I have to get an injection in my butt to help not be in excruciating pain. It's a good life. It's a good life. Jinx Kizzy says, I just realized the pup is in the background. Oh yes. Oh yes. I don't have the pup cam hooked up right now, but it's important to give the dog kisses. Hi. I'm going back to sleep. It's kind of hard to see, but he's also got his battle axes right there. He's got to keep his battle axe close. He is a barbarian at the end of the day. Overreacting says, also can relate. Tailbone pain, mine is from a previous injury in 2015. Oh my god, yeah, it just doesn't go away. Like, if you hurt your tailbone, it does not go away. There's no blood flow there. So as far as trying to target pain in that region, most drugs won't work. And like, in terms of healing, it takes like years or decades basically to heal. So oops. Sweet Flynn kisses, of course, non-stop. It's like, he doesn't understand why I'm constantly squeezing him, and he doesn't understand that that's his fault. Like, I'm not one to victim blame, right? But he's very squeezable, and that's on him, and he should have considered that before being very squeezable. That's all I'm saying. Sorry about your mysterious pain. Have you gotten an x-ray? Yes, I've gotten an x-ray, I've gotten an MRI, I've done everything, and they're like, we don't really know what's happening, so we're just gonna inject your butt with cortisone. And I was like, cool. So that's fun. Even more fun is the last time I went in to go get the injection, which, like, quite literally, I am belly down on a table with my ass out, so that they can take a needle and shove it like in my tailbone, basically. Just like first class viewing of, you know, whole, right? last time I went in to go do it, this doctor was like, "Oh, by the way, this is like a very unique procedure, and it'd be really helpful if I could bring in a few med students who are here to like watch the procedure and show them how it works." And I was like, "We're already here. Why not? Bring them in." So I had an audience for the last time that I went in to get show my ass and get a needle up it. Like I said, it's a good life. It's a good life. Hello, Math. Welcome. Certainly has been a while. Yeah. So there's not a whole lot to talk about, right? Not a whole lot has happened over the past handful of months, and I really wasn't all that. I wasn't really gone or anything. I didn't really do anything. There's not a whole lot to talk about. Yeah. So I had a bit of a mentee B, and that was around October. So it was. I had a lot of things happen in rapid succession over last year, sort of starting around March. Starting around March or April, and then like the hits just kind of kept coming. I was dealing with it pretty well for a little while, and then I started dealing with it not very well, and then more really difficult things started to pop up, and I was like, I cannot do everything that I'm trying to do right now in good health. So around October of last year, I decided to take a hiatus, stepped away from like all of my content, streaming included, and I'm just now getting back to my streaming schedule, which is new now, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. and then like whenever I feel like it beyond that. I'm really happy to be back. And I do want to make it really clear that like I'm doing so much better. I'm doing so much better. I know the world's on fire, literally. And I know that we just saw freaking Musk do a Nazi salute on live television broadcast to the world. I know that things are really, really, really terrible right now. I'm happy to tell you that despite all of that, this break that I took was what I needed, and I am feeling ready to move forward with everything considered. So like, I know things are terrible. I'm going to do everything I can to alleviate some of that pain. Egg bite is correct. Names. Egg bite is correct. I'm in a unique position, obviously. I look like this. I'm a white cis-het passing male, and I'm gonna be okay, mostly, from everything that happens with regards to just aggressive law. And my intention is to use the fact that I don't have as much to worry about as other people do to try and just be a bit of a shit shield for y'all. So however I can, however I'm able to, I'm going to try to ensure this remains a safe space for the people who are here. There's a zero tolerance bigotry policy here. Absolutely zero tolerance. And beyond that, I'm going to keep being as loud as I can about being a good person and uplifting the people who are marginalized and getting screwed over the most. So, yeah. All the while, I'm hoping to not just make this place a bummer. Like, my job is not going to be like, hey, everybody, come to my stream. We're going to be miserable together. That's not what we're doing here. We're here to have a bit of escapism. We'll go over stuff as it happens. Like, I will cover things and talk about things, but I'm not gonna just sit here and, like, I said this on socials yesterday. I'm not gonna sit here and just cover the moment to moment updates about everything that a horrific oligarch said, right? Like, that's not a valuable use of anyone's time and energy. So that's not what I'm going to be doing here. And also, I'm hoping to continue doing some like fun shit, like making games. So I'm going to be doing a whole lot this year. We'll see. But I'm happy to say that I'm feeling a whole lot better, and that break did quite help. I thank you all for the grace and support while I was on a break. But we're back, baby. We back. Crayley, thank you for the sub. 10 months. It's really wild that we're already approaching 2 years for some. Like I saw a 22 month. Like that's unbelievable. I haven't even wrapped my mind around like the 1 year sub mark. Let's see. I biodegrade says stuff still happens, I guess. Yeah, unfortunately. Despite everything I tried, stuff still happens. Seraph RDM says, thank you for being our shit shield. We love you. Right back at you. William Gamesmith says, moment to moment in this environment is a recipe for burnout. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to pay attention to everything that's going to happen, like that is a legitimate strategy from the administration that just came in. They're going to try to flood everywhere, flood everywhere with too much horror so that you don't even notice what's going on elsewhere. Now, I want to be super clear about something here. I keep saying be clear, whatever. I did take my ADHD. I'm gonna just stop for a second. Okay. I did take my ADHD meds. I'm all over the place. I want to be super clear. They're going to do everything they can to distract you by inundating you with too much. Everything is going to be terrible and everything is going to be horrible. There's going to be a new media outrage every single day, multiple times a day. That is, we saw that last time, and it's only going to be worse. They now have experience and direction.
Thanks for the bits.
The notion that everything is a distraction bugs me. A very common thing that people do on social media is a story happens and their response is, so what is this distracting us from? What's the real thing this is distracting us from? And the answer is usually there's not a thing. It's just so much stuff happens constantly that there's always multiple major things happening at the same time. Viewing it as they're trying to distract us from something turns reality into a game. It turns reality into an ARG, and it just is it just leans into the conspiracy way of thinking, where you approach a story with like a conspiratorial mind rather than an analytical one that can understand what this means for you and those around you and act accordingly. As opposed to, I'm not going to think about this thing, I'm going to try to think about the imaginary cabal trying to deceive me. And they're trying to deceive you, it's just directly in front of you, not hidden. So like, be thoughtful about your skepticism, is all I'm getting at. Especially over the past couple of days, with the whole TikTok going away and coming back thing, and everybody freaking out saying Meta bought TikTok or TikTok's data was moved to Meta's servers. I'm genuinely upset. I'm genuinely disappointed. I'm not going to name any names, but I'm genuinely disappointed in certain people that I used to trust the word of, who jumped on the train of spreading conspiracy theories about TikTok after it came back with absolutely no due diligence towards what they were repeating and stating it as fact and stating it as if they were an authority on the subject. And it's so dangerous because like people are really looking to hear someone who sounds like they know what they're talking about make sense of a situation, and they want to be on the inside of knowing what's happening. And so if you have someone's like, I know what's happening, and they just state whatever they feel like, they're just gonna spread a wildfire of misinformation, because people on TikTok take a single video of someone sounding kind of confident and they take it as gospel and run to other comment sections and start to parrot the same sentiment. And that is how stuff spreads so quickly on TikTok. And like, the things that were being spread are so obviously wrong, like so blatantly wrong, and like completely devoid of any understanding of how reality actually works. The notion that
Meta, a transnational, multi-billion, close to trillion-dollar, no, multi-trillion? Are they a trillion-dollar company? I don't actually know. International, publicly traded company just secretly purchased another multi-billion-dollar international company who's famous for not wanting to sell, that employs thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, whose lives would be impacted, whose legal employment status would be impacted. The amount of paperwork, the amount of financial shift that would happen, the economic impact of that, the shareholder impact. Shareholders would have had to vote on that. That is just not how anything works. Meta is already under a lawsuit, under an antitrust lawsuit, for having too many social media platforms under their belt. Having them purchase TikTok would be insane right now. It's just not realistic. But people were just saying it as fact, and they were pointing to the most useless arguments, like Facebook has a TikTok account. That TikTok account has been around since like 2022 or something like that. But people don't check that. They just see it. They hear Facebook now has a TikTok account. They can look it up for themselves, and they're like, well, that confirms it. This person knows what they're talking about. So, yeah, it's brutal, and it's really upsetting. And like even on Threads last night, and not people on Threads are, but on Threads last night, someone replied to my thread like explaining, here is the technical explanation of what's going on right now. This is a very normal thing. And their response was, the fact that it can be explained away is all the more reason to believe it's true. What do I do with that? Like, what does anyone, like, you just told me that like, oh, you can explain this? Well, that confirms it's that you're in on it. Like, you must be in on it, and it must be true because you can explain it. And I pushed back, just saying like, hey, that's insane. Hey, that's wild. That is directly conspiratorial thinking. And the person was like, no, I don't dabble in conspiracy. And it's like, all right, well, you're a lost cause. I can't help you. So that is what that line of thinking does to people. It puts you so far down into a conspiratorial mindset that you don't even realize that you are rejecting basic reality on the pretense that it makes sense. Like, wow, that sounds normal. That can't be right. Whereas the truth is, reality is fucking boring most of the time. Everything that's going on right now with the Trump presidency and Musk and whatnot, it's not a conspiracy. Reality is fucking boring. People have hatred in their hearts and Nazis are back. That's it. That's it. It's literally that. There's a bunch of racism in this country that we've known about for a long time, and those racists have been emboldened and uplifted by tech oligarchs and weird people who don't understand what free speech means. And then we end up where we are. We echo chamber ourselves into thinking that Kamala even had a remote shot at the presidency, and then we end up here. So like, it's not a conspiracy. It's not, you know, I would believe that there was some tampering going on, and there's 100% voter suppression that happened. But at the end of the day, if America couldn't overcome that, if America couldn't overcome people actively trying to tamper with the election from the inside, if America couldn't have the elected president with their appointed AG go after known, understood fascists with probable cause to take them out, with understood evidence of attempts to overthrow a democracy, and yet the Attorney General did absolutely nothing. America did nothing to prevent this under the Joe Biden presidency, and now we're here. Joe Biden appointed Merrick Garland as a meme. He appointed Merrick Garland to get back at Republicans for not seating Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court. And then Merrick Garland did fuck all. He did absolutely goddamn nothing at a time where this country needed to root out fascism at the core. But that's Democrats. That's the Democrats. Everything to them is a show and a meme, and not people's lives. So we are on our own, is what I'm saying. So if it can be explained rationally, the more convoluted explanation is true. Got it. Yeah, remember, if there's two explanations and one is far more convoluted than the other, it is always the case that it's the more convoluted one and not the obvious and realistic solution. I don't dabble in it has most of the time reached the same status as I'm not an XYZ, but Cotton says, there's definitely something we don't know, but that's the thing, we don't know. We don't know what we don't know, but I also don't think it matters, right? Like, what would knowing what we don't know change? That's how I approach a lot of these situations. It's like, whenever they say something on Twitter and people are like, talk about this thing they said on Twitter, or whenever they make a proclamation about whatever, what does it change? Does it actually materially impact anything? Because if not, it's a waste of mind power. Go play some Balatro, right? Like, if it's not going to impact anybody, if it's just going to raise your blood pressure, it doesn't matter. And if they're doing something nefarious, who cares? We know they're fascists and Nazis.
Yeah,
they're gonna do things that are nefarious. Knowing the specifics might help us prepare a bit, but we know the specifics. We've got the Project 2025. It's all out in the open. There's nothing. I don't know. It's all fucked. Hello, Sammy Marie. Thank you for the warm welcome back to streaming. I am so happy to be here. I am so happy to be back to streaming and to get back to my normal streaming schedule. So as a reminder, and for folks who have been filtering in or filtering out, I am back to streaming officially, and my posted schedule is Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, but I'm going to be also going live randomly whenever I feel like it. So I'm hoping to be going live more and more over time. I'm going to need a little bit of time to get a few more things ready. Expect that my stream will be more fancified in the future, but for today, it's just a simple, just chatting, talking about stuff, no overlays or anything. That's all going to be coming back, but thank you all for being here so very much. I missed you. I missed you so much. I truly did. I really wanted to get back to streaming, but it's just a thing that it's hard to turn on and off. Like, I don't want to get back to streaming and then be like, actually, I'm not streaming again. Actually, I'm streaming again. I wanted to wait until I was absolutely certain that I could be consistently streaming, and I believe that's where I am now. So, hell yeah. I'm looking forward to being back to doing this, back to giving you a place to feel like you can call home. Not healing. Hello, welcome in. Says, this is my first time seeing you on stream. Def psyched. Well, get hype, because so much more is coming in the future. I also really apologize to the people who are redeeming the reactions. I'm seeing your redemptions of the reactions. They're supposed to play a sound on my stream. That's not currently working. Pardon my dust. Neurospicy Dumpster Fire. First of all, your name could refer to, like, everyone in this community. Second of all, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Cotton says, I'm hearing the reactions. So they're going to work for you. If you're a person who is in my Discord community and has connected their Twitch account through the lodge, the notifications will appear. But there is a bug right now where the system is ignoring those notifications for people who are not in my Discord and connected to their Twitch. So I'm going to have to fix that. Class system. Yeah, it's really important. I believe very deeply in sectioning people and ranking them and having individual castes, you know? I think it's really important to establish a certain group of people as just better than everyone else. That's a lie. I'm sorry, y'all. That's not true. Let's see. Ruid says, sad dev, now you stream while I'm in class. This will be the last time I see you for a while. I will also be streaming randomly here and there at other times. So no worries. I always have my VODs. So you can always check out my VODs channel. And I think I should be able to... so there's my VODs channel. If you want to follow that, you will get the full recordings. But I'm also going to be streaming at random other times. So just keep a lookout for notifications and hop on in whenever I'm live, and then soon enough we'll be able to take over the world. Something that'd be really cool is if I could hit Twitch partner. You know, like I'm pivoting a bit. I'm going to be investing a lot less in TikTok and a lot more in Twitch and YouTube. In addition, of course, excuse me. In addition, of course, to my newsletter and podcast. So yeah, if I can hit partner this year, that would be sick. Like that would be really, really, really cool. It's not a hard goal, but it is a thing that I would like to be able to try my hand at, I guess. We'll see. You can definitely do it. Well, thank you. I very much hope that I'll be able to. And thank you to the people who are following. Only open username followed. Welcome. Slippy Socks followed. Welcome. Good to have you. And only open username. Thank you for the prime. Thank you. Hello, okayish AF. How is it going? Says I'm not here. I'm just lurking while I go fight Nazis on LinkedIn. Welcome back to streaming, slacker. Hello, and shout out to okayish AF. Good lord. Don't get sick ever. Shout out okayish AF. There we go. Okay. Nasty Creep says, have you forwarded the stuff from your P.O. box yet? No, I'm going to now. I was waiting because I was deciding if I was going to back up. I have a P.O. box. The P.O. box I have uses a service that is just like a mail receiving service that can then forward mail in like chunks to me, just for convenience and safety. But it's not near me, but it's not far enough that I can't get to it if I need to. There's a few things that arrived at my P.O. box that they're refusing to forward because they contain alcohol, I guess. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just go take a road trip and go pick up my mail directly. But those plans are falling through in favor of different plans, so I will probably try to get those things forwarded soon. I will post more info about my P.O. box later on. Make it a goal we can see on your stream. We love crushing goals. I mean, like, yeah, it would be great. I mean, reaching partner, the hard part is you need to have consistent viewership, I believe, over 100 average viewers. And we're at 74 right now, which is really cool. And thank you all for being here. Thank you so very much. But yeah, I think that's like the only real requirement left, aside from needing to get back into consistently streaming, is to have a consistently 100 plus viewer base. So I don't really know how to make that happen aside from just trying it. So, does Campfire still do the VIP shoutouts? Not currently. Basically, everything that used to happen before is off, except for like some of the commands and some of the redemptions in some cases. That's all going to come back over time. But like I said, I'm writing it to be generic so that anybody can use it. P.O. box scandal is my fault. Look, how could you have done this to me? Cotton says, should we still send stuff to it if we were planning to? Yeah. If make sure it's the right one though. I had a previous P.O. box and it was a bad experience. Hey, this is earned, UPS. If you want a P.O. box, don't go with UPS. Don't do that. UPS offers P.O. box services. Don't do that. No. Bad experiences. Over 100 is going to be over 100 average is going to be tough. Yeah. Time to evangelize dev team. I need you all to be dev's disciples. Dev disciple. Let's see. Okay, HAF says, just stopping to echo what Dev is saying. The only way to make partners is to share the stream with your social circle. Sharing is caring. I would really, really appreciate that. Any amount of sharing my work whatsoever is like the most impactful thing that you can do. I like in terms of support, like financially supporting me, Patreon is the way to go. But generally supporting me passively and free is sharing my content is the most impactful thing. Now, excuse me, I dropped my pen. I need to have my fidget toy. Gotta have it. You should do a Pokemon Showdown redemption. I should do fun gimmicks in general. Listen, it's alcohol, but I really think it'll be worth the wait. Your reaction needs to be recorded. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Welcome in, Die 101. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Good to have you. Cotton Candy says, doesn't alcohol get better with age or something? Maybe they just want it to ferment more. I mean, I think it depends on the booze. But yeah, like, because America is a weird puritanical state, we're not allowed to ship alcohol around. Or rather, certain states disallow shipping alcohol. The state that I am in allows shipping alcohol. The state that my P.O. box is in does not. And so they received it, and they were like, we're not going to forward this. Can we get a chair demo? Sure. Hell yeah. What's up? Welcome to my stream. How's it going, everyone? Wait. This one? Ah, there we go. Welcome to my stream. This is, so you've heard of hot tub streams. Well, guess what? I'm inventing the recliner stream. I'm inventing the just chilling, just catching a vibe. I'm inventing the wearing some slippies and reclining stream. AMA. So, you know, that's pretty good. God, I could legitimately fall asleep right now. Like, I could actually unironically sleep like this and be very happy about it. Alright, I need to not do that because I am genuinely getting tired. Whew. Die 101 says, wait, am I joining a cult? Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry to let you know, but yeah. Welcome to DevCycles. Let's see. Please hold while USPS perfects your beverage.
Thanks for the bits.
We can't ship alcohol, but the Postal Service has been delivering drugs for decades. People are weird about alcohol. Although, y'all see about that, I'm trying to catch up on some stuff. Cat Brune, welcome in. How's it going? Lounging the stream. New Twitch chat for Dev, just chilling. I wish I had reclining office chair money. So I will say this was sent to me to be evaluated. So that yeah, they do cost money, unfortunately. I'm very thrilled that this one was sent to me. You can nap, we would behave, I swear. I don't trust you at all. I don't trust you whatsoever. I don't trust you to behave while I'm napping. You're gonna, like, if I fell asleep on my stream, you all would try to, like, teach Flynn some, like, Pavlovian response to, like, bite my ankles, which he already does, so. I was gonna say something, and I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Yes, I remember now. Hello, Kryptonite, and 22-month sub. Holy damn. Thank you. The thing I was gonna say, I don't know if everybody saw this, but there was that, like, report that, like, alcohol is a major carcinogen. It turns out that, like, the alcohol industry has known this, kind of like how the tobacco industry knew that tobacco is a carcinogen. Yeah, turns out alcohol is a pretty significant carcinogen. It's a pretty significant cause of cancer, and Biden's attorney general was recommending that there should be Surgeon General. Merrick Garland didn't do shit. Biden's Surgeon General has recommended that alcohol in the United States gets a Surgeon General warning similar to tobacco about cancer, which is like a thing that happens in other countries already, but yeah. How are we so good at getting cancer unintentionally? We are nothing if not great at getting cancer here in the States. Absolutely. We already knew that alcohol is bad for you, though. Yeah, but, like, every year there has to be a An industry-funded study that explains why alcohol is good, actually. Always. It's like how eggs go back and forth, but alcohol has always been bad. I checked the milestones for partner, not to change the topic, but it's an average of 75. Oh! Oh! Interesting. Interesting. All right, new deal. New deal. Everybody who can hear my voice right now, just tune in every time I go live. That's all you got to do. If you just tune in, we can make partner. And if I'm partner, then you're partner, because we are one. We are one. So, you know. Do people in the US really drink their first alcohol at 21? Yes. Yes, CC Benji. Yes. Well, it depends. The legal age for drinking in the US is 21 for everything. So you're not legally allowed to drink under the age of 21. Most people drink before then, or at least try something before then, but you're not allowed to purchase alcohol under 21 or consume. We are Venom, ain't got nothing on. We are Endeavorance. In the club, we all partner. To that end, actually, I once I had to go to a like teen rehab thing as punishment for having been caught holding a beer that I didn't even sip by a cop who was too bored. He lied. He was upset and wanted to. It was a bunch of teenagers hanging out, and I had a beer in my hand, and he wanted to. He was mad and wanted to punish some teenagers. So first he felt up my underage friend under the guise of checking for weapons, and then he breathalyzed me, and I saw on the breathalyzer that I blew a 0.0, and he wrote that I blew a 0.001, which is more digits than were on the breathalyzer. And then I had to go to talk to a judge lady, and she was like, well, we'll expunge the charge so long as you go to this program for like 6 weeks or whatever. So I had to go to a teen like rehabilitation program thingy every few days for like 6 weeks. During which time, while parked at the facility, my fucking hubcaps got stolen. And everybody else in this program were like truly fucked up. They were like heroin addicts at the age of 14. And people who, like one dude broke his leg because he was like running from some cops from like a drug deal that went bad. And like, I'm sitting here like, I smelled a beer. I was 17. So, you know? Not the hubcaps. Yeah, F for the hubcaps. Yeah, so I was just driving around with no hubcaps for quite some time after that. Until eventually my dad... I had been joking about wanting to get spinning rims. And my dad took my car. And he put spinning rims on my car. Which was a red 1997 Ford Taurus. So I was driving a 1997 Ford Taurus with spinning rims. And underglow. I put underglow on it too, just to complete it. So that car didn't last for very much longer. That car ended up, that was like a triple hand-me-down car. It was my mom's, then it went to my brother, then it went to me. But by the time it got to me, it was already so busted up because my brother had taken it on a road trip with his friends to go to Bonnaroo, and they just fucking destroyed that car. So like by the time I got it, the trunk couldn't even stay open. Like the like hydraulic lift to keep the trunk door open, busted, wouldn't stay open. If you tried to like put something in the trunk, it would just fall on you. And then even better, one day my dad sends me to go refill some gasoline canisters. Right, like for like the lawnmower. So he sends me to go get some gasoline with like just those like canister things. I go to the gas station, I fill up the canisters, I put them in the trunk of the car, I drive home, and by the time I get home, I realize I did not properly secure the lid to the gasoline canister. And it has tipped over and poured gasoline all over the felt-lined trunk of my 97 Ford Taurus. So then, my car now just reeks of gasoline for the rest of the time that I have it. I never successfully get rid of the gasoline smell. The way that car ended up going, like the death of that car, was one day I turned it on. The heat hadn't been working for a while. And so like the only real way that I could use it in the winter is turn it on and let it run for like 20 minutes. But I turned it on one day, I hit the AC, and it just starts billowing smoke at me. And I'm like, I think this car should probably be destroyed. I think this car should probably see a junkyard at this point. Because I just got into my car and turned on the AC, and instead of air, I got smoke. That's not good. And so that's the story of my first car. I don't remember how we got there, but it is what it is. Some name says 97 Taurus with rims and underglow. What in the Need for Speed? Yo, bring back Need for Speed Most Wanted. What a game. That's why the cop was mad. Cops hate red cars. I wasn't even at my car, but yeah, they do. They do hate red cars. My insurance went down after I got a new car because it wasn't red. Hello, River Ronin says, "Yo, Dad, what's up? I'm not your dad, but I am your daddy." Christabite, hello. How's it going? Welcome in. Good to have you. Nobody clipped that thing from before, by the way. Thank you. Why do cops hate red cars? So it's not that cops hate red cars, but like they do. Car insurance companies upcharge for red cars. Kind of famously, there is like statistical analysis that shows that people who buy red cars crash them more frequently and speed more frequently. Usually it's more like a red sports car, but in this case it was a red, like, bottom of the line Ford Taurus from 1997 or 1996. Just like you get a discount if your car is white. Yep, I've got a white car. Play Tag With Me says, because red goes faster? Yeah, it's actually, have you ever heard of red shifting? The term from physics? It refers to when you get into a car and it goes vroom vroom real fast, and you shift from being a loser to a real cool guy because your red car go vroom real good. And that's what red shifting is. Like my soul? Yeah. I just got a new car that's black like your soul. Yeah, I got a new car that's white like my privilege. Dusty Knight says, I have a gold car, like made of like fully like 14 karat, presumably. It's Warhammer Orc mechanics. You believe that red cars go faster, so they do. They really do. That is how it is. I'm pretty sure. The Coolie says, is the discount for a white car significant? I've had the same Toyota Corolla since 2011, and I'm finally considering getting a new vehicle somewhere in the future. I don't know. I don't actually know. The only true thing that I know about my car insurance right now is that they send me a new car insurance, like, card, like the insurance card, every fucking, like, 2 weeks, and I'm very annoyed by that. Let's see. Varmint Vixen, hello, says, glad I heard about this stream while it was still happening. Hi, welcome in. Welcome. We are so glad to have you. I regret to inform you that the people in this community are among the greatest on the planet. And there's like nice people here who will embrace you and uplift you for who you are. It's kind of stupid. It's like these people see you and appreciate the person that you are, not the person that society has typecast you to be, and they accept you for whatever quirks and oddities you might have. It's really silly and gross, and honestly just stupid. I don't know. Hello, iridescent writer. What's up? What's up? Kojo the Yeti says that's weird. I love the like creepy Twitch base smile emoji. Ew, happiness and kindness, gross. This is the worst place, we swear. We will validate the hell out of you. Good stream to have in the background while I do Game Master's work. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. What system? Sorrow the Suffer King. What system? Speaking of system, I am still working on Proscenium. I haven't talked about this recently. So for those who are not aware, I am building a TTRPG called Proscenium. You can learn more at proscenium.game. I'll put that in chat real quick. Proscenium.game. I don't know if you can hear that. Helicopter? Can you hear that helicopter? You hear that? I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a helicopter over my house right now. Dear God, that's loud. So I'm working on a TTRPG called Proscenium, and it is being designed to be adaptable, approachable, and inclusive. The goal is to make a game that can be played in its own right. Like it has its, everything you need to play it, but also can be very, very easily adapted to any homebrew that you want, and has like support for homebrew built in, like as a core design mechanic. In addition to that, since I'm a software boy, I'm building a free companion app for playing Proscenium that will also support creating and playing homebrew content with Proscenium. So here's the state of play. I also put that on hold back in October when I kind of had my Mentee B and stepped away to take a break. As I've been getting back into doing all my stuff, I started with getting back into Stuff Keeps Happening, because that's like what most people know me for. And then I'm getting back into streaming now, which is going to be one of my main focuses. And on stream and over the next however long, I'm going to be like in part working on Proscenium and talking more about it and bringing it hopefully into reality. Where it is right now, the first draft of the rulebook, of the core rule set and rulebook, is a thing, and you can actually go read it on my Patreon. If you have a subscription on my Patreon, it's available to read. There's also a video of me going through it. The content is the next main thing. So like a lot of the work that still needs to be done for Proscenium is the base world content, and the like specifics on like all the abilities and skills and whatnot that you can learn. So that's gonna be really, really fun, and I'm looking forward to like doing some TTRPG design stuff on stream. So that's gonna be really, really fun. Heli Crew coming back to welcome Dev back to the stream. I live near a medevac hospital, like the place that they take medevacs to. It is not infrequent that I'm in the middle of recording Stuff Keeps Happening and I have to just stop because a helicopter is like shaking this room. Play Tag With Me says, I desperately need to switch away from Wizard of the Coast stuff. Can't wait to see it. Yeah. There was a period of time where I was sort of trying to be maybe in the good graces of Wizards. I truly don't give a shit anymore. Hasbro has destroyed Wizards, and it is heartbreaking. And Wizards wasn't great to begin with, but Hasbro took whatever was already wrong with Wizards and just exacerbated it so badly. Dungeons and Dragons is a fun system. I think people should start playing other games. Like, there's nothing wrong with playing D&D, but there are so many games out there that are so much easier to learn and bring new people on to play, and so much easier to play. It takes so much effort to like get to a point that you can play. Like, there is a time and a place for super crunchy games, and those also exist. And there are also very good super crunchy games that are not Dungeons and Dragons. But there are also plenty of games that are just better suited for the kinds of stories that people want to tell, and they're just playing Dungeons and Dragons because that's what they know. And it's really sad to see people like refuse to acknowledge that there is value in playing something else. We need new music. Let's do tavern vibes because of the topic. Let's see. Sorrow the Suffer King says, hell yeah, I do systems design and I love watching people make the gears in games. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's my favorite thing is designing game systems and whatnot. Armsteel says, also this, I whine, but I prefer you being well. Thank you. I don't feel good about having made a big announcement about Proscenium and been like, hey y'all, like it's gonna be a thing real soon and we're gonna do playtesting real soon, and then I had an absolute break and like could not deliver on that promise. Like I feel fucking terrible about it. I'm going to try to find ways to make it up to the people who showed me good faith and like joined my Patreon and supported me through that. I want to make it up to you in a meaningful way. One of those ways is in Proscenium, skill trees, like sets of abilities, are called methods, and each method is associated with like a person who created it, right? So for example, Flynn's method of mischief is a method. And so for those who joined my Patreon early and supported me and all of that, you will have the opportunity to have a method named after you. And that goes for like anybody on my Patreon, but the people who've been there and like jumped on the opportunity to support me in building this are going to have absolutely first dibs. Dusty says, I can't pay out, but I support you. Yeah, by no means you like all of the stuff that I'm talking about, and like supporting me financially is a thing that I need, right? But just as helpful is sharing my content and letting people know that I'm doing cool things and that I'm doing more than just posting silly TikToks. So anything helps. Letting people know that like there's more to this community than just a dude holding an object on TikTok. Incandescent Writer says, hey, shit happens and it's best to take a break when needed. We understand. I really appreciate that. I have a very hard time as somebody with ADHD of overpromising and then feeling bad if I can't deliver. It's so fucked up because like I know in my head that if I can just do the things, like I know that I'm capable of doing all of the things that I want to do. I just have such a hard time sequencing. And like it's so easy to be like, I can do all of this. This is no problem. But then something goes wrong and I am down for the count for months. And it's just unfortunate. Varmint Vixen says, my only problem with Proscenium is I have a deep pathological fear of large open spaces, the sky, falling, etc. So the whole Sky Islands thing is terrifying. Here's the good news. For one, the default setting is just that. It is the standard / example / base setting that you do not need to use. I'm designing Proscenium specifically to allow people to bring their own worlds or use the default world and extend it however they want. Part of extend it however they want is you can very easily remove the fact that they are giant open air structures and just make them islands. Like, just make it water. Now that does have impacts on other stuff, but like if you want to use the vast majority of the pre-built world, but you want to avoid that fear, you can swap that out. Dusty, I see the Father Help. I'll go ahead and emulate that. Father Help! Maybe I should just emulate reactions. Actually, I shouldn't commit to that because that's all that's going to happen for the rest of this stream. Father Help! I'm supposed to be. The system will work next time, maybe, hopefully.
Beef.
Hello, Moon-Kissed Carnation. Welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you, and hello to you as
dingus.
well. Beef and dingus, thank you. I am a beefy dingus. I just call myself a beefy dingus. I don't take it back. You already came back with the milk after being gone for so long. We're just happy about that. I didn't want to step away from streaming. It was the last thing I wanted to step away from. I love this so much. I really like hanging out with y'all and streaming and whatnot. I just needed the literal time and mental space of being able to fully step away. So I'm excited to be back. I'm also excited to just like chill. Like we're just gonna be chilling. And like I'm gonna be playing random games and talking about random things and whatnot. I will probably do some streams here and there going over like major events and talking about stuff, but I just don't want it to be. I don't want people to come here and just be continuously inundated with everything. I'm being raided. I'm being raided by Fanakari. Hello. Welcome in, Raiders. What's going on? How's it going? And hello, Fanakari. What's up? What's up? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am so excited to see y'all again. Hey, Fanakari, what's up? Oh man, we're bagpiping. This is a bagpipe, right? Yeah, this is a bagpipe. Welcome to my stream. This is what we do here. So, you know. Feel like I should do a jig? Yeah, it's important. Y'all remember Surfer Vibes? Oh, damn. I actually had to remove that from my playlist because I was getting too hype. It was too disruptive. Thank you so much, Moonkiss Carnation. There's your hydrate. Surfer Vibes, the classic, El Clasico. I'll bring it back someday. I'll bring it back someday. Oh, okay. We got more reaction redeems. Amazing. The reaction redeems are supposed to play a sound on my stream, but stuff is kind of broken right now because I'm in the middle of completely reworking everything. So, apologies. I'll try to do the voices as needed. The other thing I'll say is I also haven't put a set duration for my streams because I don't want to do that anymore. Knowing that I need to stream for a certain amount of time, or I need to stop streaming after a certain amount of time, ain't a vibe for my brain. So instead, the plan is I will be starting my streams at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then just streaming for however long I feel reasonably able to do so. So we'll see. Could be an hour, could be 5 hours. Who knows? Depends on the thing. Mother help! Beef. Sounds like rebellion propaganda to me. I'm just like an NPC streamer at this point. If I'm doing this. Father help! Like, if I'm doing all these redeem voices, I'm basically just that Spider-Man NPC streamer guy. But it's not even for real money. It's for internet points. Damn it. I need to start the idle animation. What is my idle animation? Hello, London Faye. That's rough, buddy. Internet points, even better. Oh, y'all, I've been wanting to show this off. Okay, I got a toy. I got a toy during my Mentee B because I really wanted to have a toy. I've been eyeing this for a long time, but I got an e-ink tablet that is like, you know how I have a problem with buying too many journals? This is the ultimate. This is the end state of buying too many journals. So like this pen that I've been playing with is actually an EMR pen, and like I can just draw on this tablet and it's e-ink and it just does the thing. But what's cool is it also has like unlimited pages and a whole bunch of templates, and you can do like handwriting text search. And this is a full Android tablet. So like it's a heavily modified version of Android where like the main screen is this like note-taking app that they have, but it's a full Android tablet. You can install anything from the Play Store. Like you just have access to the Play Store. Here, I can show you. You just have access to the Play Store, and like here's Obsidian. Takes a second because it does a lot of stuff to like freeze apps in the background, but horrible experience. Oh yeah, this was a draft for a thing I posted. But yeah, like I have Obsidian on here, and I can just use Obsidian on an e-ink screen. Like it actually has decent performance for scrolling and whatnot, and there's different like settings for different performances. You can watch a video on e-ink on this thing, which is crazy. It has audio and everything. It's a full tablet. But because it's e-ink, I charge it once every few weeks, and like I leave it on next to my desk, and it's just a piece of paper at that point. If you just have it sitting on the note-taking app, it has taken so long to wrap my mind around the fact that it's e-ink, so it being on versus locked has no impact on battery life. So it can just sit there for hours and use no battery, which is so cool. It is by Boox, Boox. They also have a phone version that is not an actual phone. It doesn't have a cell radio in it, but they have a form factor called the Boox Palma. That is it's just like that, but it is the shape of a phone, and it has all the features of an Android phone. It just doesn't have a cell network. But yeah, so like if you want an e-ink device that is not Amazon, that can be an e-reader, but is also a full tablet that you can then use EMR, like is it Wacom? Any EMR stylus works on these, and this one even has an eraser tip that works. So I can use this eraser on the thing and it works. How is it for drawing? It's really good, as far as I understand. I am not an artist, so like the vast majority of what I do is just using the pencil tool. But like it has a let me get back to my notes. It has like all of the different like a whole bunch of different like pen styles. So like you've got your like highlighter and whatnot, right? So like there's the highlighter. You've got a like fountain pen kind of thing where like the oops, I changed the page. But yeah, like where like it's like an Apple Pencil where it like emulates your pressure and angle and everything. You can shade with the pencil, which is pretty cool. Oh, that's not the pencil. Whatever. You can choose the pencil tool and you can do like shading and whatnot. It's black and white. This one's black and white. They have a much fancier version. I wanted this super lightweight one. Like, look how thin that is. I wanted this specifically for like a very lightweight thing. This one's about $400. They have a fancy version it's much more of a capable full like primary tablet thing, and is also a color e-ink screen, so you can do colored drawing on it. I'll just go ahead and like, link all of this. Here's their. I am not sponsored. I should be, but there's their stuff. The question of Bluetooth. Yes, it has Bluetooth support. Yes. So that means that, and I do this. This is what I've been doing. You can connect a Bluetooth keyboard, put Obsidian on it, and you now have a place to write on e-ink, distraction-free kind of thing. I needed to read words to me so I understand better. Yes, it has read stuff out. Like it has support for like read this audiobook to me or whatever. It also has support for just playing audiobooks. But again, it's a full Android tablet, and then the Palma one is like a phone. So anything you can do on an Android device, this can do. It's just that it's a heavily modified version of Android to work really well with e-ink screens, to preserve battery much more, and just give a better experience for the device specifically. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. But I've been really enjoying it. It's been sitting next to me at all times. I've been getting a bunch of different pens and just like brain dumping into this thing, especially because you can search your handwriting, which is nice, but you can also, like, similar to Obsidian, you can insert links in your notes to other pages of other notebooks or even the same notebook. So like you can make clickable links in your physical journal, and you can also write, like, handwrite tags and like circle them and convert them into like a tag that then gets indexed in like a here's all your tagged pages stuff. So it's like really, really good for organizing thoughts too. Cryptid says, are all the pens on the site too? So it comes with a pen, but it's a pretty basic one. Any pen that is an EMR pen, which is the standard that Wacom tablets use. So there's a ton of them, and they're not expensive. They're all over Amazon. You can get there's a million of them. Yeah, so I got this one that I like quite a bit. It's like kind of like a pencil. It's got like a triangular shape. Where's the brand? Yeah, that's the... that's the brand, if you want to look up the pen that I got. But I love this one because the tip on it is so nice feeling. And then it also has a working eraser tip. So like, I can... Oops. I keep changing the page with my chin. I can like erase things by just using the back of the pen. So that's neat. Which series is it? This one is the books Air. Hold on. Hold on. Good question. So it's the looking at the products. It's the books Note Go 10.3. Yes. So it's this one. Here, I'll just link it directly. It's this one. That's the one that I was just showing you. And the one that's like the fancier color version that's like much more powerful and more of a full, like, you can use it as a full PC basically, is that one. The difference being that the one that I got is there's no backlight and it's just black and white, but it's also far lighter and a bit cheaper, and a lot thinner. But they've got one that's more like a normal, like an iPad, but it's still e-ink and color, but also has like keyboard cases and whatnot. A reviewer on YouTube that I watched when I was deciding which ones to get, he is a like English professor at a university, and he just does everything on his books tablet now. Like he just does everything. It's just his main computer. Cradle says, I just switched to the app and it was trying to tell me that the stream has ended. Silly Twitch. Don't believe it's lies. That's propaganda. The stream hasn't ended. Don't believe Twitch's lies. Mobile do be dumb like that. Twitch mobile has no idea what it's doing anymore. Why? Tell me why. When I open up Twitch on my phone, it gives me like a TikTok-like feed, but Twitch streams are horizontal. Like almost all Twitch streams are horizontal. So it's just like, what are you doing? Literally, what are you doing? I've said this before on stream even, like a much more interesting user experience that would have been way better with way more information density would be show a low resolution, like maybe like slower frame rate, like preview of multiple streams. And since they're horizontal, you can fit 3 widescreen videos on a vertical screen at once. So they could have made a scrolling list of everyone that you follow and a live preview of all of those streams, and then you like click into one and it could go full screen, right? But instead of that, you have to see each individual thing. I don't know who it's showing me. I don't know if it's a person I follow or a random person or like why they're here. Why is it auto playing? I don't know. But yeah, like imagine you open up Twitch and you can just scroll through a just feed of, you know how on YouTube when you like on the mobile app, if you look at a thumbnail for enough time, it starts to play the thing. Imagine just all of them playing, and so you can see immediately what everyone's up to. Not just like a frame from whatever, but like, Devs bootleg Twitch mobile app when? I'm building so much stuff already. I genuinely would. Oh, TikTok is back, right? Go download your TikTok data. Go download your TikTok data right now. If you have TikTok, download it as the JSON file format. You can get it as both text and JSON, and both are just plain text. But like, go download your JSON TikTok data, because I plan to on stream build a little app to help people visualize their TikTok data, understand sort of like what that is and means, and ideally help you find people you follow on other apps. So if you would like to be able to visualize your TikTok data and follow along as we like build that thing, that'll be a stream at some point in the future. But it's really, really easy. It's really, really quick. You just go to your tickety-tockety, right? Hold on. Shut up. Hank Green, I don't care. Okay. Oh my God. So you go to your settings, and then shut up, and then account, and then at the bottom download data, not delete account, and then change file format to JSON and hit request. It takes a little bit. They have to like aggregate everything, but yeah, I damn near deleted my TikTok account live on stream by accident. That would have been actually fucking hysterical. That would have been so funny. Imagine being on stream and I'm trying to show you how to download your data, and I accidentally delete my freaking TikTok account. Oh man. I do JSON. Yeah, you can get one of each, but I would recommend if you do JSON, I'll be able to pull that into the app that I'm building for you to be able to play around with your own data. As for how to get it off of your phone, I mean, you can really do anything, any method. Like I would recommend like email it to yourself if you want to, or if you have an iPhone, you can airdrop it to a different machine. You can DM like in your Discord DMs, you can DM it to yourself or someone, attach it as a file. Like the file is very, very small. JSON, both of them, both JSON and TXT, are plain text files, and the data that you're downloading from TikTok is not your like uploads and stuff. It's just your logistics. So it's who you're following, what videos you've liked, and like what videos you've saved. And that's basically it. And maybe your comments, I think. But it's not your uploads and everything they know about you. It's just the logistics that you've got. Can I do this from a web browser, or do I have to do it on my phone? I think you can do it on a web browser. I would give it a shot. London Face says, I haven't lived or been to the US in 3 years, and TikTok still went through the 12-hour ban. It was dumb. It was so dumb. It was dumb. But here's what happened. You should know what happened, because it's so much, again, reality, always more boring than you might think. TikTok went dark because 2 major service providers for TikTok, Oracle and Akamai, were afraid of legal backlash from the TikTok ban. And so they were not chill with continuing to provide service to TikTok. Oracle and Akamai are very, very popular internet service providers. They just like provide infrastructure, right? them pulling out means TikTok can't operate within any kind of reason within the US. So because Oracle and Akamai were like, we don't feel confident that we can continue to service TikTok without facing legal ramifications, that's why TikTok was like, hey, Biden, we want you to say in no uncertain terms that these companies won't face legal ramifications so that we don't have a disruption in the service. The Biden administration did not do that. Trump eventually did, but before he was even president. But because we were so close to things switching over, all bets were off. And so Oracle and Akamai, after being assured by, they probably literally were on the phone with people from Trump's team. Like, these companies are massive tech companies. They were probably on the phone with some lawyer from Trump's team that told them, open back up. He's not gonna come after you. Likely what happened then is Trump was like, hey, TikTok, I will promise to sign an executive order if you tell everybody that I saved the app. And they were like, sure, whatever, because tech companies have no shame. So after the 12 hours of chaos where a bunch of legal and tech people were super confused, like a bunch of people in the legal and tech space were like, what is going on? Where is everything lying right now? There was a period of time where technically Oracle and Akamai were breaking the law on the promise from a private citizen who was not yet sworn in as president that he wouldn't go after them, and so go ahead and break the law, which is weird. And a lot of legal scholars are very confused about what this means for precedent and whatnot. But yeah, like, that's what happened. It was dumb. It was unnecessary. The Biden administration should never have passed it. The Biden administration should have immediately rescinded after passing it. And it's a bad look for everyone involved because TikTok didn't tell anyone what was happening. TikTok didn't communicate anything to creators about what would happen to our accounts, what would happen to our payouts, what would happen to our followers, what would happen to our data. And then they just locked us out. And while we were out, people from around the world could still consume our content, but we had no way of accessing it. So it was just complete chaos across the board. This is like, we've all been talking about how much money is in the world of TikTok and how much money is going to small businesses and creators through both direct payouts and like finding leads and sales and whatnot, and the TikTok shop, of course. Imagine Amazon. I mean, this is bigger, right? But like, imagine Amazon going dark and not telling anybody. It would be, the business world would upend. But like, this is a lot of smaller people, right? It's affecting a lot of individual creators and small businesses who don't have a legal team and who don't have a union and who don't have any kind of significant representation. And so we're all just as confused as everyone else who's just casually trying to scroll on the funny dance app. It's madness. And it's why I am not treating the return of TikTok as the return of TikTok. As of today, Trump has signed an executive order that gives a 75-day extension to TikTok, still with the pretense of doing a sale. Meta has not purchased TikTok, to be very, very, very clear again. But the writing is on the wall. That's why I'm shifting my focus. Hello, Timothy Martin and Overclock. Thank you both for the follows. Cotton Candy and Pyro, thank you for the bits. Thank you, thank you. Let me catch up on chat. TBH, it felt like a server migration. So, Krista, I made a video explaining why it's not a server migration. That's not what that is. A server migration would have taken days or weeks, not hours. That's not what server migrations are. And logistically, that would be unworkable, just completely unworkable. I said this in it's a video I have on TikTok that goes much deeper into explaining it, but like, for reference, for people who think that a server migration happened, remember that like transferring data takes time, like material. Think about downloading something, right? Data centers have a better connection, but it still takes time, and the amount of data that is the amount of data that needs to be transferred from a data center versus downloading something on the internet is orders of magnitude more. Orders of magnitude way more. Amazon has a service for getting your data into their cloud where they will ship you a box full of hard drives to plug into your servers and put all the data on that and then physically mail it to Amazon's data centers so that they can then import it from this box of hard drives, because that is legitimately faster than transferring large-scale data. It is literally faster to plug in a big fucking USB drive, basically, and then put it in Jeffrey's car and have Jeffrey drive across the country and plug it into their data center and copy files, click and drag the files. Like, that is the scale that we're talking about here. So the notion that TikTok did a server migration over the course of 12 hours while also navigating the insane political landscape and the removal of their service providers and whatnot, like, it's just not possible. Their last mobile update broke the app. I can't scroll anymore. I just had that issue. I scrolled a few times and it eventually worked. When you can't scroll on TikTok, it's because it hasn't loaded the next video for you. It very well could be that your phone just doesn't have anything preloaded to show you, or that their servers are struggling right now from everybody being confused. Not TikTok, Blue Sky? Oh, yeah, Blue Sky should make their app better. They're also developing an Instagram clone called Flashes. Yeah, so here's a thing. Blue Sky, right? Blue Sky, the reason that is different is because Blue Sky is running on a thing called the AT protocol, or the AT protocol. The example that I've given over and over for all this is email. So email is a protocol, not a service. Gmail is a service, and Gmail speaks the email protocol, which is why you can email a Yahoo account from a Gmail account, because they're speaking the same language. That's the protocol, right? Is the ability to interact with each other. Blue Sky was built on top of a protocol designed to be a modern social media protocol, so that various apps can interact with each other. Blue Sky is I'm a little annoyed at Blue Sky. As much as I like it, I'm annoyed because Blue Sky made a new protocol after evaluating the existing protocol that has been in development for making a social media protocol for a while, called ActivityPub. That's what Mastodon is based on top of. But Blue Sky took a look at that, and instead of saying, we will contribute to this and make it better and work on this, they said, we're going to make our own protocol and build on top of that. So now we've got private companies, we've got an open protocol that is like the official social media protocol called ActivityPub. And then we've got the AT protocol, which is Blue Sky's version of it, that is not interoperable. And so we're seeing now headlines about, like, Blue Sky is getting, an Instagram clone or a TikTok clone. We also have the ActivityPub version of those. So you may have heard of PixelFed and Loops. So if you go to loops.video, it is the ActivityPub version of trying to make an open TikTok. PixelFed is the ActivityPub version of trying to make an Instagram alternative based on an open protocol. Blue Sky, while good, threw a wrench into everything because they're now making a competing protocol that is going to have a competing open Instagram competitor and a competing open TikTok competitor, which is fine, kind of. But the competition, in my opinion, should be on the level of the apps, not the protocols. Imagine, if you will, if Google said, you know what? We actually are done with email. We're going to make our own thing, and everyone else can just fucking deal with it. And now only Gmail accounts can email Gmail accounts, and nobody else can email a Gmail account, and vice versa. Like, that is essentially what's happening. Is there's now a fracture in the good faith attempt to make an open system that's not owned by billionaires. And these protocols don't talk to each other. there are people who are working really hard to try to make it so these protocols can talk to each other. But yeah. It's annoying. But that's why, like, I am on Mastodon. I'm also on Blue Sky. I am happy with both. I like both. I own the Mastodon server that I'm on, and it's available for anybody in my community who wants to try out Mastodon. You can join the Astral.camp server. You can find out more in my Discord server. But, like, I consider Mastodon to be the place that I consider safest because I can control it. Like, there is no strange content policy that I have to be concerned with and worrying about what the corporate moderation staff will do if I say something that they don't like, because I'm the moderation staff on my Mastodon instance. And anybody who's on my Mastodon server is just going to be a person here in this community beholden to just this community, as well as anyone else. Point being, I forget what I was talking about. Point being, everything's fucking... I'm tired of installing apps. I saw a question about live captioning. The answer is yes. I intend to get that working. Actually, did I install that? Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Enable? Hello? I don't know if the live captioning is working, but let me know. I turned on something. Did it? I don't actually know. I have no idea. I installed some plugin called live captioning, and I just enabled it. I don't see anything. It's working? Okay, so it's built into the Twitch, to like the viewing, to the app, right? Like it's built into the video player then. It's giving you captions. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, while I was like prepping stuff, I had installed a an OBS plugin to do live captioning, and I forgot to turn it on. I don't know what I'm doing either, so if folks are able to help each other get it turned on for those who need it, great. That's awesome. I'm really glad that that's working. I'm curious to see how this looks. Hold on. What does it do? Mute. Mute. Okay, how does this work? Oh, closed captions. Oh, it's just like a whole thing. It's just like a button. Wait, but it's not working. Oh, wait. It says beta at work. It doesn't seem to work well. It doesn't seem to work very good. But, you know, we take what we can get. I'll look into if there's a way for me to get a better transcriber. It looks like there's an option to change the transcription system, but I only have one option right now, and it's Microsoft Speech to Text. So I will look into if I can get a different transcription thing, but my goodness, from what I saw, it wasn't perfect, but is what it is. Totally accurate captioning. I'll look at here. I'm gonna make a note on my thing. Look into better caption. Okay. I'll look into that. Hopefully by next stream, we will have better captions, the working on-stream chat, working on-stream notifications, and maybe even a mini game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to building some mini games for y'all to play on this stream. London Faye says, y'all want a burger? They're almost done. Yeah, wouldn't mind one. Getting close to lunchtime. Obviously, the answer is you don't talk. Just type directly into a text-to-talk app. Yeah, obviously. Y'all ever... There's that service where you can have a phone conversation with somebody, but they are texting. and there's a person in the middle that reads the texts to you and responds to them. I don't know if that's probably a thing that like AI does now, but that was a service like not 10 years ago maybe. And I remember people like considering signing up for it to like make some extra cash. If you live caption the stream, you get 1 channel point per 100,000 words you caption. That's not a particularly good exchange rate. I don't know if that's a good, I don't think that's a good exchange rate. Sizik, hello. How's it going? It says, love you, brother. Stay warm. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I've got the fingerless gloves. I've got layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. I've got layer 1, layer 2, layer 1, layer 2, multiple socks. It's got a lot going on, and I'm still cold. And I have a space heater right here pointing directly at me. But it's cold. It is cold. Better pay than we get as mods. Look, I pay you all very, very well. All right, in grade A, directly imported Colombian cocaine. This just in, I pay my mods in cocaine. So about trying to hit partner. How cold is cold? It is currently feels like -4 outside. -4 degrees Fahrenheit is the feels like. The actual temperature is, it says 17 degrees Fahrenheit. So, I don't know if that's cold for you or not, but it is unpleasant for me. Show dog? It's a very comfy boy right now. Okay, let me bring the lights back. Okay. Oh, we're at the end of our playlist. Let's do one more. Jangly. Jangly vibes it is. Booger sugar. We do love booger sugar. My windows and a door are frozen shut at my house. I can't. So it's cold enough that I came out here right when I woke up. And I came out here to turn the heat up in here a lot. So for those who are not aware, this is a separate building from my house. I don't want to sound like I'm like super rich and living the ultimate life of luxury, multiple buildings. I just live in an old house that had a carriage house. And right before I moved in, this was remodeled. So this is technically like a garage basically, but they split it into 2 floors and put a little bit of a finishing thing up here. So this is like my studio. But that means I have to go outside to go in and out. And also it means that there's like not great insulation. This is not a like super well done flip. So I came out here to crank the heat before going back inside, and in just the time that I came out here and turned on the heaters and tried to go back in, my door froze shut. My door was like not opening, so I'm like stuck outside. It is like -10, -20 or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm stuck. I just want my coffee. I just woke up. It's warmer in Antarctica than in Minnesota today, so that's neat. Jesus. Some name says, I love Fahrenheit for having crazy huge numbers. I mean, like I'm not the first one to say this, but like I genuinely like Fahrenheit because my brain can reconcile it really easily. 100 is hot, 0 cold. That's it. 100 is too hot, 0 is too cold. It's very human. I think of it as a percentage of how goddamn hot it is outside. If it's 100% goddamn hot, that's too goddamn hot. If it's 120% goddamn hot, that is far too goddamn hot. If it's 0% goddamn hot, that is just not goddamn hot enough. So think of F as standing for goddamn hot.
Thanks for
percentage
the bits.
of hot. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. There's no lodge command. There should... maybe there's not. I should probably re-add that. Low-key me being locked out when it's 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, no. It's a scale of goddamn hot / cold. No, it's not a scale of how cold it is. It's a scale of how goddamn hot it is. And if it's at 0% goddamn hot, that's not goddamn hot enough. You want to be at about like a 50% goddamn hot. Because then it's goddamn nice. I'd rather it be too cold than too hot. I know people say that a lot. The problem that I have is I know you can just bundle up. But eventually it still just chills you to your bone. And I don't like finding myself being like, oh my god, my hands are freezing. And like, I have been frequently heading inside and just running my hands under the hottest water that I can produce from my sink for like minutes, just trying to warm back up. Or like, my legs right now are like starting to really get cold. It's a lot. I get it. You can bundle up, and I love being cozy. I do. I truly love being cozy. But just a little less cold. I'm good with chilly. I'm good with brisk. I'm good with it's cold enough to sit under a blanket by the fire. But when it's like frozen, when it's like the dead of winter, that's when I'm like, all right, I think I'm ready. Wool is my savior and iron supplements. I've got iron supplements. They're dumbbells. I tried to make a joke about like pumping iron supplements, getting ripped. I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. I tried. I've been gone for a while. All right, not all of the juices are fully back, and we're working on it. Okay. Opal Hexen, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, says, I'm in upstate New York and it is brick outside. You mean brisk? Or are you technically brick, B-R-I-C-K? I mean, if the C is pronounced like an S. Brisk? Or maybe there's just a dude outside holding a brick. Brick is a thing? No. Define brick. I don't believe you. Plural. A handy-sized unit of... It's handy! According to Merriam-Webster, a handy-sized unit of building or paving material. 2, a good-hearted person. What? A brick is a mensch? 3, a rectangular compressed mass. As of ice cream. Okay, well, the third definition is a brick of ice cream. That makes me happy. 4, a semi-soft cheese with numerous small holes, smooth texture, and often mild flavor. A gaffe or blunder, especially used in the phrase drop a brick. And a badly missed shot in basketball. Okay, but that's... I don't know. Brick titty? I'm gonna not look up brick titty on stream, actually. I think that's not what I'm going to do. My preferred term is that it's a tit bit nipply, so I breast be going. That's mostly what I say. Drop a brick has a different meaning in my family? Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to drop a brick, let me tell you. Brick titties, so cold outside, titties are frozen like ice bricks. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm gonna go drop a brick outside. Names Bond says, can I share my Blue Sky in art channel? Yeah, I mean, like, if you're posting art, go for it. You can also post your Blue Sky in, like, the self-promo channel in Discord if you want. Not looking up unknown slang terms on stream is probably smart. Yeah, I don't need to get banned the first day that I'm back to streaming. I don't think that we need or want that, actually. The captions, Nepalese. I forgot about the captions already! Oh my god. Oh my god, perfect. Very, very good. Hello, hello. Hello, Neighborhood Lucifer. Your friendly neighborhood. I dropped my pen. So things for this year. Things to know about for this year, for like stuff I'm gonna be doing. As I said, Proscenium. I'm gonna be working more on my TTRPG project. Stuff keeps happening. It's probably gonna go through a bit of a metamorphosis. I don't exactly know what yet, but I'm probably gonna be posting more there in general and figuring something out with either a new podcast or reworking the podcast or something. But I'm gonna be putting a lot of my focus into YouTube and Twitch. So if you're already here, which is great, if you're not following my YouTube, you should do that because that's where I'm gonna be putting the majority of my focus. As for like TikTok, Reels, and everything else, good night, Dusty. Good night, Dusty. As for like TikTok and Reels and whatnot, I don't think TikTok is super long for this world, at least not the version of it that we know and love. Reels fucking sucks. It's really, really bad. And yeah, I'm gonna post stuff, but I think that largely I'm going to be shifting away from short form content, and short form for me going forward is probably going to be a lot more like low effort, vloggy, shitposty, random thought kind of stuff, and less like produced videos. So Cryptid says, Dev, I have updates since the last time I saw you. I have a contract job and I'm in therapy. That's awesome. Congratulations. So good. Reels fighting socks. Reels fighting socks. Yeah, I'll look into seeing if there's a better transcriber because that's not okay. Speaking of Reels, a thing came across my feed the other day. So apparently Meta is going to be offering bonuses of up to $10,000 to $50,000 a month to big TikTokers to post to Reels before anything else, which is very interesting. Sportism says, oh shit, I haven't streamed since I got pregnant. Holy crap, guys, I having baby. Congratulations. Congratulations. Wishing you the easiest pregnancy and an absolutely delightful delivery. I don't know if that's possible, but wishing it for you. Neighborhood Lucifer says, didn't we do this with Mixer back in the day? Yeah, like it's the same as what Microsoft did with Mixer, where they're like, hey, Ninja, come stream on Mixer and we'll give you $50 million. And he was like, okay. And then Mixer died. I don't think it will be a shocker to tell you all that if I get that offer, I'm probably not taking it. I would have to maybe think about it. If they came to me with like a ridiculous number and it's just like, cool, I'm already deprioritizing short form video, but I will extract value from Meta if I can. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think I'm gonna get an offer at all, but also, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't feel good about making money off of Meta by like making contract deals with them. That's I'll post on Reels before any other short form app, sure. I'll post none on Reels for money. Look, if it's life-changing money where you can do good with it, we were all forgive and forget. I mean, like, I would have to like take a look and understand what it all would be if it came up, but I don't know. I'm not that big. Like, I don't consider myself, I know that like I'm a big creator for a lot of people, but like it's hard for me to internalize that. And I think the people that they're probably going to be going for are the ones who are in the like multiple millions of followers, not like some jagweed who says silly words and often rips on meta. Like, hello, Dice. What is up? How is it going? Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. Sammy Marie says, make that money if offered. I think I want to be very rich from a way that the money that I got, the multiple trillions of dollars that I have, are earned ethically, which is to say, by taking them from billionaires. I'll be the world's first trillionaire by taking all the billionaires' money. That is how you can ethically become a billionaire or trillionaire. So. But just for a day. Afterwards, you guys can have it. Can you imagine? Like, imagine if all of the billionaires in America got together and just said, like, all right, on this date, we're going to just divvy up all of our money evenly across everyone in America. Ethically, you become a billionaire by composting the rich and starting a garden. That sounds nice. That sounds nice. Farm fresh, ethically sourced billionaire bucks.
Look who's out here re-upping their sub like some kind of hero.
Jack Dax Sage, thank you so much. 6 months. Here's to another half a year and more. I am so excited to be streaming for as long as I can be, consistently again. I'm hype. I'm really, really hype. That's what I mean. If Meta is throwing money around, I wholeheartedly believe we should all be rooting for you to grab a slice. It depends. It depends on what the contract would be. If it's just like a, hey, come post here, we'll see. But like, I have made exactly $0 from any Meta product so far. I am not in the Instagram payout thing, which they've decommissioned anyway. Like, they're not paying creators on Instagram anymore. It was sad. I had a video once where somebody in my on Instagram in my comments was like, hey, like, I'll just like loop your video while I go do other things. Will that help you? Like, will that help you make money? And I was like, no, I have not made any money from Instagram. This is entirely just to try to have presence. And the people didn't know. People didn't realize that Instagram decommissioned their payout program. Yeah. I'm really high. I wish. Instagram and Threads don't like paying. Yeah, I also see people on Threads be like, I made this much money from my Threads payout. I've not even heard a remote notion of how to even sort of be on Threads payout program, nor do I give a shit because Threads is a freaking hellhole. But like, yeah, a bunch of people are talking about their Threads payouts, and I'm like, you all are getting paid? Play tag with me. It says Mario Kart Blue Shell economics is the only economic system I support. Not healing you. Thank you so much for the bits. My friends keep sending me Threads and I keep telling them I refuse to download that. Like, it's one kind of a shitty app. Like, Threads, the app, is still not good for how long it's been out. For an app that's called Threads, it does not do Threads very well. Like, and it fails to load half the time. It's a very clunky app. But better than Twitter. Can't find the invite for my Mastodon. Here you go. I can get that for you momentarily. Please hold. Log in. Pressing buttons, pasting in login codes, moderation, invites, generate link. Wait. Yes. Okay. Here is an invite link to my Mastodon server. So if you want to sign up, go for it. I'm going to be opening up the Mastodon server a bit more, sort of, in the future, but primarily it is meant for just people who are in my community. But anybody who is on any Mastodon server can interact and interface with anyone on any other Mastodon server. I saw somebody ask earlier, what is Mastodon? Mastodon is it's like Blue Sky. It's a lot like Blue Sky. It's like Blue Sky or Threads or Twitter. It is a microblogging platform based on an open, it's an open source microblogging platform that is based on a open protocol. So the idea is that it's another social network that can't be owned by billionaires. Like, it is an open system. So instead, it is owned by a bunch of smaller communities that all support their own servers, and all of the Mastodon servers can all talk to each other. So our community server is astral.camp, and anybody on astral.camp can follow and comment and like and boost and whatnot from anyone on any other Mastodon server, and so on and so forth. Again, kind of like email. If you have a Gmail account, you can email somebody on a Yahoo account despite having a Gmail account. It's the same with Mastodon. You can have an account on one server, but interact with anybody on any other server. Oh wait, it's your server, like a Discord kind of thing? Yeah, so even more than Discord. So Discord servers are kind of a weird term. This is quite literally a cloud server, like a website that I own. So on my community's Mastodon server, which again is like a Twitter, but I own it. It's I am the one in control of the data, the rules, everything. So it's specifically ours to control and moderate and handle, and is meant for the community by the community. So no matter what, even if there's another Mastodon server out there that's doing shit that's not okay, it's all good because we control our own server, which means that we control who can interact with us. So let's say that there's another Mastodon server. Think of it like a Discord server, but even more open. If there's another Mastodon server that's just full of Nazis, we can block the entire server. We can cut them off entirely so that they just do not exist as far as our community is concerned. Because we own the moderation control. We own the rules. And so we are able to actually take action when there's someone posting Nazi shit. We can actually cut them out, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I think people will start learning the Fediverse out of spite from Meta, myself included. Yeah, so to talk about that a bit, the cool thing about Mastodon, it is built on top of a thing called ActivityPub. ActivityPub is just a way for apps to have social interactions with each other, despite being different apps. And so there are ActivityPub services besides Mastodon that are like competitors to most services you're aware of. There's an ActivityPub YouTube competitor called PeerTube. There's an ActivityPub Instagram competitor called PixelFed. There's an ActivityPub TikTok competitor called Loops. And all of these services, because they all use ActivityPub, they can all talk to each other. So in Mastodon, let's say you like a video creator who's posting videos to a PeerTube server. You can follow their videos from Mastodon and get their new videos as Mastodon posts in your Mastodon feed, because they're speaking the same language. Despite one of them being a video hosting app and one of them being a microblogging app, you can still follow them because of that crosstalk. And that is the big win here. And it's going to be the same with Blue Sky and their other apps that they're building too. They'll all be able to interact, because the goal is to lean into the openness of the internet, not close off and shut everybody out. You know, Elon Musk bought Twitter and then shut down the API, killed all of the third-party apps, and made it ridiculously expensive to interact with their platform unless you just use their app and stay on their platform. That is because they are trying to optimize your time and money and extract as much value as possible. Whereas an open system like Mastodon and all of the things that it can interact with, that's impossible. Nobody can buy it. Nobody can shut it down. Nobody can restrict access. And on top of that, conversely, it can interact with any other app that's built on top of it. So any app that does get built on top of it is inherently bringing along the entire user base of every app that's connected by ActivityPub. This is referred to as the Fediverse or the social web. That entire, the entirety of everyone who is on any of these apps that can interact with each other. It's called the social web or the Fediverse. Another popular one is Lemmy. Lemmy is the ActivityPub competitor for Reddit. So after Reddit did the same thing as Twitter and then also sold all of their user data to train AIs, which, reminder, if you're on Reddit, all of your data on Reddit has been sold to train AIs for fucking pennies. They sold it for $50 million. They sold the access to Reddit's data to train AIs for 50 mil. That is fuck all. That is chump change. That is nothing. They sold you out for nothing. So that's cool. But yeah, Lemmy is the ActivityPub competitor to Reddit. So long story short, it is an open alternative social media system similar to Blue Sky. I would caution, Blue Sky is currently easier, I think, overall. Mastodon does take a little bit more like investment, like time and effort investment to build up your community and feed and whatnot there. But it has some really cool, unique features of its own. Let's see. Endeavorance is stealing our data. Got it. Yeah. So here's the thing about me. I love data. I eat data, and I need it. I crave it every day, and so I want all of your data. Yeah. No. I actually don't even know how to access it right now. Yeah. I wouldn't even know how to access it. Cotton says, and you can do a lot on. You can also do that on a personal level. If you just hate one guy, you can delete that guy from your feed without dev doing anything. Yeah, you can. Individual users can choose to just shut out a single account or an entire server, which is cool. Like, I don't have to do anything. You can self-moderate, which is sick. And the Fedi is nice with content warnings. Yeah, the like Mastodon is really good about content warnings and alt text on images. Sammy Marie says, I'm glad I deleted my Reddit content years ago. I was on Reddit for 13 years. I had two 13-year-old accounts that I deleted when they did all that dumb bullshit. And I'm mad. Like, Reddit was a cesspool to begin with, and I acknowledge that. But, like, there was still some good there. And then the head of Reddit just went full fascist. Like, the head guy at Reddit screwed over his dead co-founder who would have hated what's happening now. Literally died to try to prevent what's happening now. So the founder of Reddit, or the head of Reddit, just besmirched that guy's memory, and then came out and was like, what Elon Musk is doing with Twitter is the right way to go and the model we're using for Reddit going forward. Done. Moonkiss Carnation says, darn, I still have Reddit. Like, use it if you like. If you get value, great. But, like, I, at this point, just, like, sometimes look at a Reddit thread if it's gonna have helpful information from a search otherwise. But I haven't really been on Reddit consistently in years now, and I think my brain is better off for it. I go and look at Reddit comments sometimes, and it's like, wow, you guys haven't changed a bit. Like, you all still have no idea how out of touch with reality you are, while thinking that you are the ones that are in touch with reality. Blue Sky is easier, but also overly simplified, so you don't know how to... If you don't know how old school Twitter works, it takes a little learning too. I do like... I mean, the feeds on Blue Sky are nice, and I really hope to see that come to the Fediverse. Neurospicy Dumpster Fire says, I realized when I requested my data from Facebook that I've been on it for almost 21 years. Yeah. Favorite Head says, how do you spell that Reddit competitor? Is it Remy? It's Lemmy. L-E-M-M-Y. Cryptid says, even the No Man's Sky community on Reddit doesn't come up on my feed very often, so I don't know if it's dead or if it's because not AI and so it's getting squelched. One of the few subreddits that I follow. Yeah, that's the other thing is like, they're like pushing AI built into Reddit using your stuff to... No one wants this. No one wants this. No one wants more bullshit in between human interactions. That's why streams are cool. Like, that's why this is good. There's not a freaking AI injecting garbage in between us. We're just chatting. Scala says, I'm still on Reddit in a handful of subs. I avoid venturing out of the roughly half dozen that I'm involved with. It's not a problem. Like I wouldn't say that if you're on Reddit, you need to leave Reddit. Like, it's not like Twitter where it's like, if you are still using Twitter, you are tacitly endorsing the continued, you know, legitimacy of this platform that is wholly owned by a man who is so clearly a Nazi. Reddit is kind of dog shit, but like not that bad. Have you heard anything about PixelFed as a competitor to Instagram? Yeah, so I actually PixelFed excuse me. PixelFed has been around for a long time. It's been around for years, at least I want to say 4 years, maybe 5. I made an account on there a long time ago. It is the activity pub / Mastodon-ish version of Instagram. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's much better off than Loops is right now. Like, it's much more mature than the TikTok competitor version. It's fine. It's good. It works, and and people like it. I haven't really used it recently, so I don't have direct opinions about it. The only thing I will say, and like, this is still nowhere near as bad as fucking Elon Musk, the guy who created PixelFed is a little unstable, and has had a couple of like meltdowns on Mastodon, especially recently, to the point that actually the creator of Mastodon had to reach out to this guy and be like, dude, you need to chill. Like, you need to calm down. It's fine. Like, the guy is a little unstable, but was humbled by a recent outburst he had, and is now talking about handing ownership of PixelFed and Loops over to a third-party nonprofit so that he wouldn't be the one at the head, which is the right call, and I'm glad to see him doing that. And you would never see someone like Musk be like, you know what? I'm realizing that I'm pretty unstable right now, and I think it would be best if a third party had ownership over this so that my moment-to-moment reactions to things don't cause national meltdowns. But instead, that's not what's happening. I saw a post he made, which was very overreacting to flashes and not CW'd, which was, yeah, I mean, like, he's a little unstable. Unfortunately, the unfortunate part about the Fediverse / social web is it came from a place of a bunch of people in tech were fed up with Twitter and all these private platforms, and they're like, look, we're gonna step back and make a new protocol that is open so that nobody can own it, and we're gonna redefine what the social internet looks like, to be like anti-capitalist, to prevent companies from just owning everything. And so they made this thing, and they started to build on top of it, and Mastodon came out and whatnot. But what that means is a lot of the founding people on this network were deeply, deeply, deeply nerdy and like open source zealots and whatnot. And if you don't know about the open source community, there's kind of two sides to it. There's people who just like are happy to put together open source projects and like share them with people. And then there's people who like essentially have a worldview or a political alignment or borderline religious alignment with software, saying that software should be free as in like freedom, not free as in does not cost money. And often those people will take that concept a little too far, and it's very off-putting where they land for a lot of people, because like they essentially are like, well, in order for software to be free, everyone needs to know how to use more complicated software. But I'm not going to do anything to make that easier for them. So I'm just going to be mad that people aren't using this software. So there's a lot of people, especially on earlier Mastodon, who were actively against the notion of Mastodon growing. They didn't want it to grow. They didn't want it to be approachable. And they certainly didn't want it to have any kind of like For You page or feed or anything like that. Which is, I get it. But unfortunately, what it meant was anybody who tried to expand on Mastodon, who tried to say like, you know, it'd be really great if we made these features easier so that people who are not super technically savvy can also benefit from this system that we're building. And there was a lot of pushback. It sparked so many arguments and like resulting in fucking death threats and just so much vitriol and drama over the notion of making it easier to sign up, making it easier to discover people, making it easier to search for stuff. People were getting death threats over these conversations. And that is a big problem with the Fediverse. It's a problem. I think that a lot of people could really benefit from something like the social web, the Fediverse, Mastodon, etc. At the same time, it takes effort from people who know how tech works to use their expertise to make it approachable for other people. There's a reason we have car mechanics. If your car breaks down and you don't know how to fix it, you take it to a car mechanic and they help you. If you are in need of surgery, you go to the doctor, right? Tech people are supposed to help leverage tech to make it easier and more effective and supportive for people who don't dedicate their lives to understanding tech. Losing sight of that is it's a step towards a dark place of being very exclusionary, very elitist, and losing sight of what community means. So, as a reminder, having community means sharing the load of work with people who you can trust to be experts at what they're experts in, to make your life easier, because no human being is an expert in everything. We work best when we are helping each other out with our expertise. Let's see. Is this about Pixel Fed? Yeah, in general, a bunch of stuff. Speaking of software, should I learn Godot or put my time, effort, and money into something like Unreal? It depends on what you want to do. If you want to have the experience to be picked up by a major game studio, I would recommend learning Unreal. If you want to just make some fun little games, I would recommend Godot or Game Maker, both of which are very, very good. I want to do indie development. What scale? Like, I want to play around and make something silly and little, or I want to invest a significant portion of my time and energy into producing an indie game for sale. because that also changes my opinion. And also, what kind of indie development, 2D or 3D? Getting deep in here. It's always I'm nothing if not deep. As someone working through accessibility training for accessibility, making things easier to use benefits everyone in the long run, and I'll die on this hill. You are 100% absolutely correct. Accessibility is good for everyone, because if you want to add support for, let's say, one-handed use for an app, right? That's an accessibility feature. If you want to make sure that a device is usable with one hand for people who only have one hand, maybe they've lost an arm, that's an accessibility feature. You know who else only has one hand? A person holding a child who is walking through a checkout or walking through a store, holding a child in one arm, needs to be able to look something up with their other hand. If your app is usable with one hand, you are benefiting that person despite them not having a disability. They just are temporarily reduced to one hand and can now still use your app. It is a benefit to everyone. And it is table stakes. Accessibility is table stakes. Cryptid, I'd say Godot or Game Maker. It's your call. I am a Game Maker boy through and through. I've been using Game Maker since 2003, 2002. And for a long time, Game Maker was a sort of like toy, more or less. But in the past like 8 years, it has evolved into a fully fledged studio that has produced some major titles. And it's gotten really, really good recently. That said, Godot is free and open source and incredibly powerful. Cool thing about Godot, so for those who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about right now, Godot is a game development studio. It is an engine. If you've heard of Unreal Engine, Unity, Godot is like them. But it's an open source project, it's free, and the crazy thing is Godot is written in itself. So the Godot development studio, the software that you use to develop a game using Godot, is itself developed using Godot. It is itself a game made with Godot, technically, which is wild. Let's see. Cotton Kenny says, everything depends on everything. Yup. Scala says, I was, years ago, interested in a prepper community, and the level of, quote, be an expert in everything that I saw pushed was nuts. Yeah, that's not how anything works. That is not how survival and community works. Being able to take care of yourself in emergency situations, sure. But the main thing, whenever someone comes at you and is like, oh, you just trust doctors and vaccinations and whatnot, be like, okay. The next time that you need emergency surgery, you do it yourself. Like, why are we okay with trusting surgeons? These same people who are anti-vax or whatever will go in and get a triple bypass, get, whatever work they need done if it was going to save their life. But no, the second that they're like, that you could do preventative things, that they could lift a fucking finger, no, it has to be skepticism. Maybe Construct 3. It's been a while since I poked at it. Yeah, Construct is a similarly interesting studio that was inspired by Game Maker. I haven't used it recently, but yeah, it's also pretty good. Neurospicy says, my current job is helping adults with disabilities maintain and obtain and maintain employment and employers. The corporate employers are the ones that make everything difficult. It is a shame. Yeah, it's very, very hard. Panakri says, Godot captains are not helping with knowing how it's spelled. Godot, like the artist. G-O-D-O-T. Godot. If you just search Godot engine, you will find it. It's free. It uses its own programming language that is pretty easy to pick up. But yeah, it's very good. That said, I will caution, like, Godot is not easy. It is not like, I don't know anything about game development, I'll just pick this up and start figuring it out. You do need to know a bit about, like, professional software, at least a little bit about coding, and read some tutorials. Game Maker is much easier for like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to like play around. But there are also much better options for like very simple game studios. Vampire Winter says, I got a comment the other day that said, unless I can pack a bullet wound or fight in the streets, I was, quote, useless to the revolution. So screw me for offering to be a safe house after protests, I guess. That is not a person that's safe. That's a person who's deluded and is just trying, like, their notion of revolution is purely a, like, masculine fantasy. There's a lot of people on the left, or purportedly on the left, who are dejected. They feel abandoned, they're confused, they're angry, and they feel absolutely no hope. And so they are turning towards this notion of revolution, which, I get it, I feel you, I'm there too. But if you then think that revolution just means get a bunch of guns and go shoot people, like, no, that is not revolution. That is not how it works. That is going to just get everyone killed, and you're going to be so much worse off. That is going to trigger martial law. That is going to make them crack down so much harder, and you will have such a harder time doing it again if you tried. Like, you're just gonna make it worse for everyone. It takes a village. It does. It takes a village. And like, there are gonna be, unfortunately, uncomfortable parts of that village. I know that a lot of people who follow me have a very, like, tenuous relationship with firearms and the people who like firearms. Saying nothing one way or another and acknowledging that firearm-related deaths in America are an egregious public health crisis, part of that village is people who are trained firearms experts, who can protect people, who can teach people how to be safe with it. That's just a part of it. Just as much as we're going to need people who can cook food at scale, people who know how to treat illnesses, people who can take care of the elderly, people who can provide support, people who can bring some levity during situations that are painful. Literally, the U.S. Army like brings performers to their troops to boost morale. Like, that is a valid contribution to what is essentially a war effort, right? It literally takes all hands to make lasting, significant change happen. And it doesn't even need to be violent. It can be, in fact, it almost definitely in America will not be a violent revolution. It needs to be, if anything, instead of physical violence, economic violence, by way of strikes, by way of reducing dependency on existing systems. Imagine if tomorrow everyone deleted Facebook and Instagram. Now, that's not possible. I want to be clear. Any plan that starts with everyone should just, that's not a plan. Everyone will not just. But in a world where we can routinely chip away at our reliance on the systems that keep the people in power, if we continue to remove that pipeline that just takes everything we have and gives it to them while removing our rights, by way of depending on each other for things like food and support and shelter in case of travel or whatever, that is how you start the process for real. You build that network. He was one of those guys who has no plan for what happens after a revolution happens. He also said that if we aren't getting shot, we weren't protesting effectively. Yeah, that person's. Don't listen to them. They're a dangerous person. They don't understand what they're talking about. They're not. They're trying to be an edgelord, and they're trying to appear like they are the only one that knows what anything is. Not worth your time. Absolutely not. Anyone who calls themselves a leftist and then is like totally okay with abject suffering is not right. Not right. It's the same thing that annoys me with people who are constantly calling for a general strike despite not knowing what the hell that means. Like, a general strike doesn't get organized in TikTok comments. The number of times that I've been tagged about, like, there's this general strike coming up, you need to talk about this. I have been tagged to talk about so many general strike dates that all came and went and everyone forgot about them. And I have spoken out before being like, hey, y'all, this is a massive waste of time, money, and energy. Please unionize your workplace, because general strikes start with unions, not people in TikTok comments. And then I get people who are upset with me because there are people who want to just cosplay like they're gonna do something, and I'm saying that's not enough, and they're like, well, you're the reason that we haven't done anything. Then you're the bad one. It's very annoying. Let's see. Build and nurture your local communities. Absolutely. Yes. Maddie says, there are plenty of countries that come to mind. I mean, it's on the rarer side, that have overturned regimes without violence. Wouldn't that be nice? Ash says, I wish I could participate in boycotts. Sadly, I do not buy the food that I eat. Boycotts can work if targeted and specific. Boycotts frequently do not do anything. They can work, and they have worked recently. Absolutely. But prioritize what you need from life over participating in a boycott. Boycotts are a luxury generally. So there are absolutely people who cannot miss out, or who cannot participate in a boycott for valid reasons. And they are not class traders. And like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, there's so much absolutism, especially on like TikTok leftist circles. People are so, there's just no room for nuance. Everything has to be absolutely, as whatever. Like, I hate this term, but like I've used it before, and I think it's the clearest way I can describe it. But everybody wants to like out woke each other. Like, everyone wants to be like, well, I'm aware of this niche, weird, random thing that positions me as holier than thou. And that's like a super real problem on leftist spaces. Like, leftists are just fucking exhausting and obnoxious. And like, not being that is the first step towards community building. Being a person who holds thoughtful, human-centric, progressive views, and understanding that the world is fucking messy and that trying to be purist about it is an impossibility. That's the first step. You can be a good person and acknowledge that reality is so fucked that sometimes action needs to be taken that is not precisely perfect. And that's okay. What is deving, Dev? Hello, Woobert. What's up? What's deving? I'm actually probably going to be stopping the stream here soon. Also, we need more music. I'm getting a little to the end of my ability to use the old throat right now. That is not, don't take that out of context. Scarlett says, I'm on a fixed income, no boycotts for me typically. Yeah, like, it's a thing that you do if you're able to. It is not a thing that is like, you are morally wrong if you do this thing. I try to focus on the harmful companies I can remove from my life as I can remove them rather than wait for a boycott, says Fanakari. Yeah, being able to just like remove things that don't actually benefit you, that's also quite nice. If leftists don't become more welcoming of people who are changing their minds, their movement will gain no ground. Yeah, leftists are famously obnoxious. I remember before I was doing content or whatever, I tried to join a Discord server for a relatively popular leftist YouTuber, a middling leftist YouTuber, and the community was so fucking toxic. If anyone tried to learn something, like, the mods would just ream them out and say that like, it's not our job to teach you, and like, just by way of asking that question, you're showing us that you're ignorant and terrible. Get out of here. And it's like, what are you doing? What, like it or not, if someone does have a passing thought that like, maybe the world is different than I thought, and they inquire within and they just receive hatred back, that's just going to solidify them to stop thinking the world is different. That's going to scare them out of expanding their horizons. It sucks. It sucks that sometimes people genuinely do almost start to be a progressive, but then have a bad experience, and so they just regress instead. But humans are irrational. And so, like, yeah, it sucks that sometimes people will make that decision, but it's so much more important if someone is making a genuine good faith inquiry to support that. If they are a piece of shit, fuck them. But if they're genuinely trying to grow, it's important to actually help. Even if, like, it like sucks to talk about things that should be obvious, right? That's the problem, is that there are so many things that seem obvious to us that for a lot of people, they just haven't taken the time to deconstruct and realize how obvious it truly is. Like the whole thing with people who get mad about the notion of raising minimum wage because they're like, get a real job. The notion, like, people who say get a real job don't realize how much propaganda they've internalized to get to the point that that's what they're saying. They just, like, truly are not aware. They think that they are immune to the propaganda. They don't know that it doesn't make any sense. And they're not going to find out unless it's explained. But if they're going to not even remotely give you a window, a modicum of opportunity to help bring them over the line, if they're completely refusing to do that, it's not worth your energy. It is not your job at that point. It is not worth your energy. They need to show any willingness to change. Otherwise, it's not worth it. It's just not. Boomkit says, like, as an anarchist, I am not for a total ban on firearms, but for some reason, that makes me more conservative than others. Y'all, I just don't trust the government. Firearms are weird, and I don't think that they actually have a political association. Firearms existing are not associated with a given political outlook. Making your personality all about firearms and completely ignoring the reality of the crisis of gun violence in this nation, that is a political alignment. But being like, hey, guns are a fact of existence, like, not as much. Because you can absolutely be a responsible gun owner. Like you can be a responsible gun owner with understanding gun safety. And a responsible gun owner doesn't fucking hang their gun on the wall of their living room and post pictures with it and treat it like it's some kind of status symbol. A responsible gun owner knows that it is a tool, it is a weapon, and should be treated as such. The music volume is the same level as my voice. Apologies. Everything's kind of like wacky still. You are not better if you refuse to help better others. Indeed. Opossum Ollie says, yeah, there was a leftist that I started watching and he would berate people that questioned nuance. I left that shit. It's not good. Like, everything is a gray area. Humans are messy and irrational and busted. Everything is a gray area. Now, is there like a good way to try to navigate that gray area? Yeah, absolutely. But nothing is cut and dry. And that doesn't mean hedge your bets and be a centrist. You can be a virulent leftist while also acknowledging reality and using that as the basis for how you try to enact change in your community. Like, throwing your hands up in the air and saying everything is not exactly how I want it to be and therefore I'm giving up. Okay. So, like, all right, well, let's let somebody else talk then. Like, if you're gonna just give up and bitch, like, okay. Now, there are people who have earned the right to give up and bitch, especially black women who have been trying for so fucking long to make any kind of change and no one was listening to them. And so they're like, I'm done. It's y'all's turn to try. They've earned it. All right. Arm still says, I don't often get the social clues, so the whole explain what's obvious to you is something I sometimes need. That's been the one thing, a very difficult truth that I have learned from doing content is like the amount of stuff that I think is completely obvious and normal is not obvious and normal to everyone. And you have to constantly remind yourself of that. Because again, everyone's got a different expertise. Everyone's got a different life story and has spent their life doing different things. I don't know how to knit. I wouldn't presume to talk about knitting. I don't know. And there's probably people out there who knit who are like, yeah, this is just the basic, obvious shit. Like, but I would have no idea. Literally any knowledge about knitting that you could say would be new knowledge for me. And it's important to remember that, especially as a creator, because I so frequently will be like, I don't need to say that, it's obvious. So you really need to check yourself and say more than you think you need to say. BG Chick, hello, welcome on in, good to have you. Says, well said about guns. They're not collectible toys, yet they're toted carelessly to intimidate on purpose, without care or consequences by some. Yeah, so I was a Boy Scout growing up, shocker, and like, it's just drilled into me to enact guns, to like follow gun safety. It just is. Like, treat it like it's loaded, keep your finger off the trigger, like the basics at the very least. And you don't tote it around. You don't. No. Fellwing, 21 months. Thank you so much. I can't believe that we're like approaching. I can't believe we're approaching 2 years for some people. Unbelievable. Kryptonite says any realm of expertise will have some weird gatekeeping dweebs for some reason. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a fandom, right? There's a gun fandom. And like, I get it. I do. I do not think that there's anything wrong with having a hobby around it. Having your hobby be about, like this thing that you want to like upgrade and make changes to and take to the range and practice, and maybe you go hunting or whatever. Like, who knows? Who knows whatever reason you might have it. It's a valid hobby, just like working on a car is a valid hobby. Also, we need much better regulations around both of those things, cars and guns. Like, I get, like, humans have interests, and that's fine. But you need to understand, like, your interest can be, like, I don't walk around carrying a D20 that I throw at people to make decisions. Because I know where the boundaries of my hobbies end. Sammy Marie says, Boy Scouts taught about pews? Yeah. It's like a pretty common thing. Like archery and rifling and shotguns are the big ones for scouts. So like you would go like shoot clay pigeons and stuff. But they taught you like gun safety. Like it was specifically like how to use this safely. And how to use it, you know, as intended. My neighbor threatened last summer to leave her husband if he didn't stop buying guns because he was buying so many. Why can't I hold all these guns? Girl Scouts taught us how to sell cookies, not peas. I wish I was in Boy Scouts. Well, I mean, Boy Scouts had the popcorn thing. Like, Boy Scouts was like, oh, we want to have a sale thing too, so, popcorn? There's enough D20s in the world, maybe we should just start chucking them at people. Maddie Roller says, the local guys at my gun range are so nice, I do recommend getting trained to protect yourself. I've never been anti-gun, but I've also been big on stricter gun laws. They're not an inherent bad. And taking the effort to learn, like taking the time to go learn, it's a valuable skill and helps push back on the fact that it is not a toy. And also, if you're a person who doesn't even own a gun, but you know you've been trained on gun safety and you know how they work and you can speak about them intelligently, you will baffle the nut jobs that just want their pew pew. Like, you will baffle them. You're a blue-haired barista, but you understand like the different components and whatnot of a gun. Oh. Having guns only be a hobby here in New Zealand is so comforting. The lack of random deaths is fantastic, says Forrest Fortism. It's wild. It's wild how much there is. Like as a reminder, there are more guns than there are people in America. Anyway, I didn't mean to be talking about guns for this long, but I do need to close the stream down here, I believe. I've been going for a little over 3 hours. Wasn't expecting to do that. Happy that I did. I was expecting to be able to only go for like an hour before blowing out my voice. But I'm gonna go get some tea. I'm gonna go warm up, soothe my voice, work on fixing some of the stuff for the stream for next time. Thank you all so much. I will hydrate. Thank you, Armsteel. Blowing out my voice. Thank you all so much for being here for this inaugural stream. I guess I should avoid that word right now, huh? I'm so excited to be back to streaming. I'm going to be, like I said, streaming every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 10 a.m. And otherwise, I'll be streaming whenever I feel like streaming. So I might do random body doubling streams. I might do whatever. Who knows? But I'm hyped. I'm excited. I think Okayish AF is streaming right now? Question mark? Raid her? Raid Okayish AF? Cool. Let's do it. Raiding Okayish. She is wonderful. Tell her that I said achoo. But I'm gonna go get some tea. You all are wonderful. I will be back soon. Thank you so much for being here. Take care. Be well. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.